Here.
And we're live. Hello, and welcome to the Artist Lounge podcast. I'm kind of a little bit wary because YouTube's being weird. They've done a weird update, and I don't know if we're about to divide by zero. We might. I apologize if we do. But hey, and welcome to the Artist Lounge podcast. My name is Sarah, also known as the Game of Draws. I'm joined once again by the lovely Michael Steffen, also known as Punisher. Yay, we're back. Okay, there we go. You might, if you've got it in the tab, you might need to grab it because it just started for me. Yeah, so YouTube's done a weird update. Hopefully, you can all see this fine, and hopefully, on the recorded version, everything looks good. Fingers crossed. We had some technical issues with the last podcast. I don't know why. No sound. Oh, no. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Everyone make sure that you can hear me. Do you all hear me? Question mark. But yeah.
I hear you.
You should hear me. Yeah, we've been chatting for a little while about cats. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing something a little bit different this podcast. We're having a chill podcast because I haven't been here and I'm tired. So we'll be drawing two different RGDs. Mike will be drawing. Do you have the name of the one that you're drawing?
There's Pitbull Girl.
Okay. And what's the title for it?
It says, "Would anyone like to take a shot at drawing me in?" Is it always pronounced Escalante or Escalante National Park? I'm not sure.
I like Escalante.
It sounds right. But it doesn't have that accent over the E, but that's kind of like a French thing with the accent aigu, so I don't really know. I'm horrible with language.
It sounds like some kind of food. Like I want to eat it.
It sounds almost like if you want to get the larger size burrito.
Yes.
You get
like a grande at Starbucks.
Yeah. Jesus
yeah, the
Christ.
Starbucks is weird.
We got the burrito theory covered early here. That's good.
And yeah, the one I'm drawing, I feel like drawing a cat. I've had some cat drama in my life lately. I feel like having a cat, I feel like it's the perfect way to segue into cat drama. So I will be drawing the Little Hobbits, Meet Apollo, my emotional support animal. He's the first pet I have owned on my own since going off to college. I would love to see your take on him. So yeah, it's an adorable little, fluffy little snuggle face. I have 3 of those in my life, and right now I hate them. But do we want to jump into drawing, and then we can talk about stuff that we haven't talked about for 2 weeks?
Yes, we can catch up on everything. I need to, yeah. When we switch to the drawing, I actually have to, I have to go to the next proper bottle of Buckingham Valley Vineyards, established 1966, the year of your parents' first acid trip. That's their motto.
Fair enough. I mean,
I don't know. But I need to switch over to that one because the other one I've had sitting out for a while, and I should. Anyways.
Do you not have one of them little wibbly wobbly things that you put in the top?
I do have a thing, but this doesn't need it. This has a cap that goes on easy.
Okay.
But I need to dump this glass out, and I don't have anywhere to do it in this room unless I dump it out the window. But that's literally.
Why didn't you do that a minute ago when I asked how ready you were?
Because to be honest, I've had the wine, this last bottle of wine I was drinking, this other wine sitting on my counter for a while, and I took a sip as we started, and then I went, oh heavens, and that's when I realized right when we went live. So.
I see.
Otherwise, I would have.
Otherwise, you would have known. There's weird stuff going on in my subview. How do I get? There we go. It's gone. No one will ever know. I have sweeties. I might eat sweeties whilst we're chatting.
What's sweeties?
I have lemon sherbets for £1.99 from the corner shop. They're Omi and Nomi.
I wish I had candy, damn it. Oh well. Well, I do have a cookie.
Candy is like such an American word. Like, there's so many words that I just think of and they're like so American just because of the way you have to say them.
Candy.
Yeah.
Andy. Andy. Candy. Yeah, it's pretty American.
So are
That's
you
about it.
sorting out your drink or are you just milling there saying candy?
No, I'm just sitting here. I guess I can just leave now and go do it.
Yeah.
I figured I'd do it to make the switch over to the other view.
Yeah.
It'd probably make the most sense, because then you don't have this camera just filming an empty room.
Well, I mean, I can make it stay on my face. My
That's
beautiful
true.
face.
Yeah. Well, you've got, then my goofball face,
I mean, who needs your face anyway?
Well, we already determined in the chat that this is a very redhead-centric, not only just chat in general, but just a theme with the sub drawing redheads, several redheads voting for it to be drawn. And we
True.
also determined that pink scalp doesn't count as redhead. So that's like imitation redhead.
I mean,
So it
if you're
doesn't work.
sunburnt, I think it counts.
It'd have to be pretty sunburned. Dangerously sunburned.
No, I mean, if you come to the UK, everyone in the UK looks like that. Everyone in the UK is either as white as possible,
Mm-hmm.
as red as possible,
Yeah.
or as orange as possible in Essex.
Sweet. I'm gonna tan for like a month before I go on any vacation, or if I end up out there visiting, doing the Europe tour, and then I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm always tan, just like play it off.
I never
Except
tan. I
sunburn.
go from white as a ghost. Like, it looks like I've got colour in this podcast. I don't really. Like, if you look at me in real life, people get concerned, like, if I'm ill. So I'm either white or sunburnt. Like, there's no transition. It's just that.
How it works. Well,
It says, so Funny Mouse said candy versus sweeties, and then Foxtrot said they call them lollies in Australia. Weirdos. What?
like lollipops. That's just like one type of candy.
That's just one type of thing. Then again, you Americans, you think
Is
that
what
every
you call-
bloody...
what you call your loved one after you're eating candy because you're so happy. And then candy's just candy.
But, like, you can't talk because you're an American, right?
Yeah.
And Americans think that every biscuit is a cookie, and that's just incorrect.
No, a biscuit is a bready thing that you eat with like gravy or
Oh, I just imagine someone with like a bourbon or a McVitie's digestive dipping it in gravy. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, no. You call your cookies digestives? That's gross. I don't want to picture
True.
in my stomach acid just mashing up this pound of stuff in me when I'm trying to eat a snack. I don't want to think about that when I'm shoving this in my face.
They're actually, like, I think they got sued or something, and they had to change it to having like a Z at the end or something weird because it's not actually helpful in digestion at all.
Yeah.
It's just a chocolate biscuit, so...
Yeah, it's like when they have to actually like be a little bit honest. It's like when Papa John's Pizzeria out here got in trouble for not actually using better ingredients, so they had to like change their logo for their motto. They're like, you don't use better ingredients, you use the same garbage everybody else uses.
Oh, Foxtrot says lollipops are just the ones with the lolly sticks. Yes, that's true.
A lolly stick.
Yeah,
Man.
that's true. Don't get me started on chips. Yeah, dude, I know. I can blow you people. Wait there. I can blow your mind.
Oh God, we're gonna talk about fish and chips now? They're called fries. I can't read the chat right now. I have no idea what they're saying.
Headphones. Okay, so I get these things that I love to bits. I have them with my lunch every day. They're called potato chips.
Yeah.
They're actually crisps, and they're shaped like French fries.
Wait, wait, what? Hold on. That's just like messing with people.
Isn't that fantastic? That they're like
Crisp?
they're these little thingies.
What's a crisp again?
So
Is that not a chip?
you call them walls or something. Like a packet of crisps. Like you would open a packet of crisps and it's like a little like disc-shaped thing, nom, and it crunches. That's a crisp.
It'd
You
be like a
call
cracker,
them
like you put a piece slice of cheese on it at an art opening.
no, you call them potato chips.
Oh, okay. So that's just a bag of potato chips, but they're shaped like fries.
They're shaped like fries, but in the UK they're called crisps, but they're called potato chips.
No, that's too much.
The brand is potato chips, but they're actually crisps.
Oh my god, that's the Frisbee thing. The brand is potato chips is the name of the company.
Yeah. Well, no, the company is Tesco, but like that doesn't count. Tesco's like everything.
Tesco's like what Acme is to Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Like Tesco to the UK. You
Yeah,
know?
that's exactly what Tesco is. That
I
or
like
like
how the Costco brand, and they like make like you can buy like a bag of like Kirkland candy, and then also a box of Kirkland garbage bags. You know, like they just make everything.
okay. Foxtrot Oscar
Right.
says, crisps are chips, chips are hot chips, French fries are the skinny ones you get from McDonald's. It's true.
hmm There's different shapes of fries, but yeah, if it's not, you can get thicker fries, but if it's shaped as a wedge, then that starts to be called just wedges or something.
Yeah, I find that funny when you say, can I have some chips? And you'll go to one place and you'll get like super thin little like McDonald's type fries, and then you go somewhere else and it's like giant, like half a potato. Like, there you go.
Yeah, curly fries are just curly fries, unless they're called that somewhere else.
No, curly fries are curly fries, I think, everywhere. We get chips and cheese. That's the thing here.
Okay, that's
You
good.
get chips, and they have melted cheese on them. Oh god, I just hit the microphone. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds really good. This is just making me hungry. I'm gonna switch up my wine,
Yep.
and we before I just sit here and start craving fries the whole time.
Yeah, I might be hungry. That might be what's going on right now.
But I'm thinking about that leftover California burrito I have in my fridge right now from last night, and that has fries in the burrito.
Oh my god, that sounds so American. Like, if you
It's-
just put it in the shape of a donut, that would be the most American thing in the world.
It's so good. Fries are so good in a burrito. Kind of like a breakfast burrito. Okay, I'll be back. Let's switch
Okay.
it up.
Go enjoy your wine changing,
I will.
and I'll just hold everything together on my own. It's fine.
Yeah, you just have to start just talking about anything.
Blagging it. Chat into
Yeah.
a chat that's like 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good conversation. It's gonna be like talking to Grandpa, you know, like gotta like let the information
wait.
go in.
Yeah, you just gotta
Process.
wait. It like sinks in. Then you can like bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'll be back.
Okay, go away. Bye. I don't need you. Thick ones are steak fries. Canada puts white veggie gravy on their fries. Oh, that sounds weird. Winest Finer. What? You opened the Winest Finer. I don't know what that is. That sounds like a strange animal that you find maybe in the world of like Westeros or something. I haven't seen that show. It's just that's what it sounds like to me. How is everyone? I haven't like spoken to anyone. I haven't been on the internet in like a week. I've been avoiding it because loads of political stuff has been happening at the moment. I'm like, I can't bother with that. I can't bother to look at every single thing on the internet and it all say the same thing and it doesn't affect me. So
The internet's a little bit intense right now. It's a
It
little
is
bit
a little
intense
bit.
out there.
I think I've avoided Reddit fairly consistently for about a week.
There's when certain things happen in the world, sometimes it's just a sign where it's like, okay, let's just kind of stay away from the Reddit front page for a while because this is going to be really bad.
The thing is, it's usually something that it's good to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't want that in every single aspect of your life when you're trying to get a bit of entertainment out of the internet.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just take a step back from that stuff.
I did see your painting, Demon Man. It's very cool. Demand Man posted a painting in the thread. Don't worry, it's not one of the pieces that we're doing today. He's not that fast yet.
Oh.
But yeah.
I can get to that in a bit. I'll do that in a little bit. I have to draw.
I like.
I haven't even started drawing yet.
Neither have I. I'm just like blagging it, talking to people because I miss them. I miss your faces. Miss your faces. Who Died sent me a wonderful Twitter message. It frankly made my week.
Who Died's the best.
Indeed. All right. Okay. Let me sort my life out. Right. Let's jump over. Screen share. If I mess this up, it's because I haven't touched it in 2 weeks, and I apologize. Share. Okay. Please ignore everything on my desktop because they're all to do with commissions, and I don't have time to tidy it up for you. Sorry. I love you guys, but you're gonna have to deal with my mess.
Okay. All right. Here we go. And
Poutine. Yes, I've heard of this. I've heard this is a thing. I've heard of it on the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Oh, poutine?
Yeah. Folly Mice is like, I'm so hungry right now.
I know this has been. Why did we start off by talking about all these things? Because then now I have to sit here for hours thinking about all the food we just talked about.
Well, it won't be too bad. We're gonna have like a little bit of a shorter episode than normal. I don't know how long we'll go on for, but we're just gonna be like a little chiller because I've got a lot of stuff going on this week and I need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
What did I do with the link? Oh, there it is. Okay, click buttons. I'm promised that I'm actually on the ball. It's fine. Don't worry.
Give us a suggestion from Who Died that we should draw both images and just do an 8-hour podcast. So, you know.
No. Like the things that I can think of doing, that's not on the list. I'm sorry. Maybe one day we'll do like a 24-hour live stream. It'll be ridiculous, but today is.
I was just gonna say we need to do a. I don't think we can do it in podcast form because it would be. I think isn't the limit 8 hours that it records?
Oh, is it? Oh, it might be.
I think so. But the idea of doing it.
What you can do is you can record podcast after podcast. So you'd set within this chunk of time, we're going to be doing this. Like that kind of thing. That's what I've seen people do on Twitch before. I
see. There's an idea. See, because I was thinking we could do a group, we could do 24-hour comics live.
24-hour comics? What do you mean?
Oh my god, you know what the 24-hour comic is?
No.
It was invented by Scott McCloud. It's
really?
It's an official thing. If you go to his website, there's a bunch of artists, including real famous comic artists that did the challenge, and lots of comic shops will do it where they invite artists and then they have to sit through it. The idea is you do a 24-page comic in 24 hours. And like you don't pre-plan anything. Like when the timer starts, that's when you start a new comic you haven't made before.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. This cat has really big ears. I love cats with giant ears. Do you want to hear cat drama?
Yes, of course. It's cat drama. Why would I not want to hear that?
Of course. So my cats are being butt faces at the moment. I haven't had a chance to explain this to you, so I'm going to explain it to everyone on stream because everyone will care about my cat drama. So I have 3 cats, for anyone who doesn't know. Comet, Cosmo, and Jasper. Comet is my mum's, Jasper is mine, and Cosmo is my brother's. But I'm basically the one who's at home constantly, so I'm the one who has to look after them. They all stopped eating their food and stopped coming home.
Oh.
Yeah. And I would feed them and they'd look at it and they'd be like, you know what? That doesn't interest me at all. Now, the thing is, the reason why this is a big deal is because they're on special diets because they've all got quite like sensitive tummies. Like Jasper's quite an old cat.
Vegan cats?
They're no.
Gluten free? Are they on the Atkins?
No. The Cats. No. No, they're just on like super nutritious food. Like it's got like every vitamin ever. Because they all have like little tummy troubles every now and then. So it's supposed to like get back all the nutrients that they would otherwise lose. Now, they've started refusing to eat their food when before they loved it to bits. Like they would run downstairs and wait for me to feed them, and they'd sit there meowing all day. So we think that one of the neighbours is feeding them. I know.
Not cool neighbors.
So we think one of the neighbours is feeding them because they won't eat their food now. They won't eat fresh chicken. Dude.
What cat doesn't eat fresh chicken?
Exactly. Like, every cat eats fresh chicken. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And one of them came home. We hadn't seen him all day, licking his chops, and then immediately threw up all over the entire garden.
Oh.
And I was like, you've eaten a bad thing. You've done a bad thing, and now you're paying for it.
Like, what's the cat eating?
I know. My dad was wondering if maybe someone's feeding them like fresh fish or something. They've never had it. It's freaking their minds out, and now they're like amazed. So they're currently on lockdown. They're in the house constantly now, and we're training them to wear collars. We're going to put messages on the collars that say "Don't feed me" and stuff like that. But dude, it's a pain in the ass. So they've actually gone like weird. They've gone really weird in terms of like their personalities. Like, Jasper's a complete scaredy cat. He doesn't care about anything anymore. He just sits there and looks at you like, yeah, and what? Comet is the kind of cat who bullies you about, but now he's gone super clingy and, like, hugs me constantly. He's literally sat right next to me right now. He will not leave me alone.
These cats have been brainwashed.
I think they have. And then Cosmo, Cosmo is the kind of cat who you can like snuggle and he will not care. Like, you'll pick him up and snuggle him and he'll just purr constantly, and like you can throw him about and he'll love it. And now he just stares at us with like an angry face constantly. And I don't know what's happened to him. It's really strange.
See, that's weird. I don't know what's going on there.
I know. So
something's going on with those neighbors.
I know. Need to send like a message out.
Yeah, you should put up some flyers.
Well, we've got there's a Facebook group for my local area, and people just put passive-aggressive messages on there. They're like, "For the lady who parked her car near my face, well, you can go die." It's like, oh, okay, all right. Or like, "To the person who cut me up whilst driving, you are a nasty van man." It's like, okay, whatever. Mega stereotypes and like ridiculous, like passive aggressive and threats. And like everyone who posts on there is literally just complaining about someone who they don't know who is doing something weird.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's like, I used to just sit on there and read it and be like, lol, okay.
Yeah, that's like the great, just getting your nice dose of neighborhood gossip.
I know. Yeah, that's been like the major event in my life. What have you been up to?
Oh, for the last 2 weeks?
I know, it's been a while.
Jesus.
Ooh, Foxtrot's going to try watercolor today. Do it.
He'll probably make a really good one. This will be his first time trying it. It's going to look fantastic.
He'll accidentally sneeze, and it will be the greatest picture you've ever seen in your life.
We're all going to get really angry at him.
I'm constantly angry at Foxtrot. I'm kidding. I love you.
I'm super angry at him all the time.
Monty Python impression. Did I inadvertently do a Monty Python impression? So I did. My man says that they love my Monty Python impression, so I'm guessing I accidentally did a voice.
I didn't know that. Did you do a silly walk on the?
I did a silly sit.
Yeah, silly sit. Did they have an institute for silly sits?
I was
That would be harder. They would be harder to sit down funny. There's only so many, because really all you're going to end up doing is you're just going to be kind of mimicking like a Janet Jackson music video, and there's only so many positions you could sit in a chair before you're fresh out.
I feel like John Cleese could do an episode about sitting stupidly. Like, I feel like that's
well, yeah, he probably could. I mean,
it's John Cleese. Like,
he'll make it. He'll make it work. That guy's a legend.
I was sitting funny though. I have like a natural sitting position, which is where I sit with one foot on the floor and the other one like crossed under like my butt. That's my natural sitting position.
Just to make sure that one of your feet falls, so one of your legs falls asleep as you draw?
Yeah. I used to sit like this when I was learning to play piano, and it
Oh my
drove
God.
my piano teacher nuts. He'd be like, "Why are you sitting like that? Like, please stop!" And he'd tell me off for chicken wings as well. Dude, I was just bad at posture.
What about chicken wings? What?
Okay, so if you... Oh, it's going to be really hard to explain this when I'm not on camera. If you sit at a piano, you have to put your hands on the keys, right? Imagine you've got your hands on the keys, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you do it properly, your arms, your hands should be parallel to where your shoulders are. So it's a straight line from your shoulders to the keyboard.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a lot more natural to have them, like, your elbows splaying outward slightly. Like, it feels, if you sit there and you try and do it, it feels nicer to have your elbows pointing, like, outwardly. And that's called chicken wings.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And apparently it's really bad when you play piano. Don't do it.
Don't do chicken wings when you play the piano.
I don't think it affects your piano playing in any way. Although apparently it does. Apparently you can't put as much energy into it, but I'm not sure how true that is.
Well, I mean, if the professionals are telling you that, that probably got to have some truth in it, right?
Yeah, I never practiced piano.
Unless it's some agenda. Unless there's like a chair company they're on the books for.
I
They're
thought
like,
you said...
listen, you need to... Huh?
I thought you said unless if it's magenta. I was like, what does the color do?
Only if it's magenta, then you start making, you know, those mistakes.
I mean, it's art. I've gotten into like an arty thing, okay? So I've been doing, as you know, I've been doing a lot of studying lately. Trying to get back to basics, work on my skills, the kinds of things that I never learned in school, but if I'd gone to art school, I would have learned. One of these things I've discovered that I really enjoy is stupid names for things, okay? So when something's like a really easy, simple concept, but it has like a ridiculously overthought name to match it. My current favorite is atmospheric dissonance. So,
oh, nice.
For anyone in chat who doesn't know what atmospheric dissonance is, it's basically the way something changes the further away from you it is. So if you've got, it's where the atmosphere essentially gets in the way, like the particles of the atmosphere get in the way. So
yeah, so it gets blurry.
Yeah, it gets blurry.
It's blue and blurry. That's it.
Yeah, it changes into the color of whatever the sky is the further away it gets. So when you were in school, when your teacher said add a bit of blue in to the mountains in the background, that was atmospheric dissonance. So I've decided that I will start pointing it out to people, like random. I'll just point out when I see something that's a stupid word in art that is like a really simple concept. So I was standing on a nice little romantic walk with my boyfriend, and we're looking out over the hills, and I just pointed and went, oh, look, and he looked over. He was like, what is it? And I went, atmospheric dissonance. And he just looked at me like, what does that even mean? What do you mean atmospheric dissonance? And I was like, I'll walk away. Goodbye.
No, that's there's when I think of other art terms, well, they're always just like, you know, it's just from other languages, like alla prima or sfumato, which is a lot like that. I think sfumato, it's just when you make things like blurry.
Really?
I mean, like it's like a haziness is sfumato.
Oh, right, okay.
Scumbling.
What?
Brush term. Scumbling's like a dry brush kind of technique.
Oh, okay.
Over a textured surface, you scumble the paint layer on top. What else? Painterly is actually a term, an art term, which is funny. It's like, yeah, just take the word and make it an adverb, and now it means that it has a painterly quality. But it gets fun when it's like the genres, though, when you have like, you know, I don't know. What are some other super pretentious art terms? There's so many.
I feel like you would be the king of pretentious art terms. Like, I feel like if I needed to ask anyone, if I was like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they were like, name a pretentious art form, and they gave me 4 and I had to figure out which one was the real one, I would call you.
I think I might have a dictionary of this stuff. 1 minute.
Oh my god, this kitty is so cute. I'm so glad I chose the kitty. Well, I didn't choose the kitty. It will be mine chose the kitty for me. It will be mine was like, oh my god, draw the kitty. So I did. I mean, she didn't say it like that because she's way more like proper than that, but that was how I interpreted it in my head. I apologize for these guys. They don't understand that we're running a podcast and that their messages appear on my screen. I don't know how to stop it. I can close it, but it doesn't stop them coming up. I don't know why. It's really silly. Oh well, life moves on. That's that's an Islam chat that I never talk in because I'm not a social being. Hello, welcome back.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Have you not found what you were looking for? No, goodbye. Fine. Hey, look at the little kitty's little face. It's so cute. I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the podcast. I mean, if anyone's new, they've probably left by now because they can't bother with my rambling, but whatever. If you want to post your artwork, don't forget to post it in the Artist Lounge thread, which is at reddit.com/r/artist lounge, because you can't post in the YouTube chat. So just let me know in the chat that it's there and I'll jump on over and we can show it. Yeah.
All right, I brought a bunch of a bunch of books that will make art fun. See, I thought this one was gonna have a bada-boo.
Bada-boo.
A bada-boo. It's bada-boo time on the podcast. But you know what? This is just a bada-boo. A bada-boo is just gonna be.
I've missed you.
I'm gonna now. You found the word. Now you found the thing. Like this will be how you get revenge for me ruining the beginning of every episode.
Yeah, I just sit here going Abadaboo.
You just say Abadaboo. I'm like, oh god, Abadaboo.
Can we rename this podcast the Abadaboo podcast?
Yeah, totally. Oh, what if there's what if platypuses? See, this is the dictionary of subjects and symbols in art, and I thought it was going to have particularly the terms, but really it's just subject stuff. But what do platypuses mean? Oh, damn it! Apparently there's no defined use of platypuses in art in here.
Oh, really? Imagine if there had been. That would have been the greatest
cool.
moment of our lives.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. I would have been so curious.
I found a platypus. I might get it for you for like Christmas or something. I found an adorable toy platypus. This is like a dog toy. It's being sold literally around the corner from my house.
Oh, God.
And it's like, I don't know, like 15 inches, 13 inches, something like that big. I might get it and send it to you.
That is too adorable. They do have a sloth. Oh no, that's just sloth. So that's an obvious representation of. We all know what that means in art. This is like a book that you buy before the internet happened. But I guess in a certain way, when it's the subjects and then specifically about them in art. But here's the books. Here's where you want to get into some really great art terms. Is I brought some kind of cornerstone books on theory. Arthur C. Danto's The Transfiguration of the Commonplace.
Done. We're in.
This is some mighty fine art reading.
Brilliant words.
Yeah, this is gonna make you. This will get you so stoked to make art. Look at this. Let me just read a paragraph here, and we can see how easy it is, how easy we can follow along and be inspired to make work.
Okay.
Chapter 1, Works of Art and Mere Real Things. Let us consider a painting once described by the Danish wit Søren Kierkegaard. I don't know how to pronounce it without being super American, so bear with me. It was a painting of the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. Looking at it, one would have seen something very different from what a painting with that subject would have led one to expect. Were one to imagine, for example, what an artist like Poussin or Altdorfer, don't know who that is, would have painted. Troops of people in various postures of panic, bearing the burdens of their dislocated lives, and in the distance, the horsed might of the Egyptian forces bearing down. Here instead was a square of red paint, the artist explaining that the Israelites had already crossed over and the Egyptians were drowned. Kierkegaard comments that the result of his life is like that painting. All the spiritual turmoil, the father cursing God on the heath of rupture with Regina Olsen, the inner search for Christian meaning, the sustained polemics of an agonized soul meld in the end, as in the echoes of the Marabar caves, into a mood, a single color. Right? We all following along here? Great.
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounded exactly like our podcast.
Yeah. So
like,
next,
I was expecting like inspiring art, and all I got was like his life was pointless, and it was a question about reality and all of that jazz. I was like, you know what? That sounds like exactly what we talk about every show.
What I love about Arthur C. Danto is he uses so many prepositional phrases and so many
I hate the one
clauses.
If one looks at, if one.
Oh yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, he's all about that. And then
All
he
about
uses
the
a
one.
lot of putting clauses in between commas, and to the point where like it's almost like reading something with parentheses inside parentheses inside parentheses, and then you have to like unwind the sentence to know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, you got to go back to before the brackets started and figure out what it was that was actually being said.
Like, even look at one of his shorter sentences here. So next to Kierkegaard's described painting, let us place another, and exactly like it. This one, let us suppose, by a Danish portraitist who, with immense psychological penetration, has produced a work called Kierkegaard's Mood. And let us, in this vein, imagine a whole set of red rectangles, one next to the other. Besides these two, and resembling each as much as they resemble one another exactly, we shall place Red Square, a clever bit of Moscow landscape. Our next work is a minimalist exemplar of geometric art, which, as it happens, has the same title, Red Square. Now comes Nirvana. It is a metaphysical painting based on the artist's knowledge that the Nirvanic and Samsara orders are identical, and that Samsara world is fondly called the red dust by its deprecators. Now we must have a still life executed by an embittered disciple of Matisse called the red tablecloth. We may allow the paint to be somewhat more thinly applied in this case. I'm actually kind of interested in where he's going here, but it's just be really hard to translate it. I remember at one point he started just talking about like the word it and what it means in a sentence, and I'm just like, what happened to the art? Danto.
It sounds very love is like, imagine 4 balls on the edge of a cliff. Like, it's like,
And then he just
3 people will get that reference, but to you people, you know what I mean.
well, and he just gets so like he's a huge wait, was Danto?
I mean, it's saying legit things. It is actually talking about an argument. Like, if I sat down and read that, I could imagine reading that in school. Like, it's a thing.
It's there. It's what gets hard when you get deeper into his writing is it just gets so heady that eventually you're just like, it's just like mind melting to read it. And I think it's just his use of the comma. It's just there's just so many. Like, you just have to unwind his sentences, you know, and maybe it. You know, here's another book, Mimesis and the Human Animal, on the Biogenetic Foundations of Literary Representation, which is kind of like goes in contrast to the book, The Content of the Form, Narrative Discourse and Historical Representation. Right? We're like battling each other now. They're going to bring us right in. So here's a chart. Here's a chart right here that lays it all out for you, right?
Oh, that's the weirdest chart I've ever seen in my life.
Like, everyone knows this chart is like this isn't a subjective chart at all.
No one's ever drawn a chart like that in their lives.
I don't even want to read about the chart. I'm going to read about the chart. Robert Plutchik's multidimensional model of the emotions. The vertical dimension represents intensity or level of arousal and ranges from a maximum state of excitement to a state of deep sleep.
Oh, this is actually like a legit thing.
Yeah,
I've read about this a load of times.
Yeah, this is the legit chart. See? Maximum excitement down to deep sleep. So you can get...
That chart is clearly spherical. Right. Not spherical, but like, it's a 3D object.
Yeah, I don't know. What's on the back
So what's on the back?
What's on the back of it? Because if grief, sadness, you know, and then that, like, what's on the other side of ecstasy? You don't just go from
There's
ecstasy
a way
to
better
sleep.
chart. If you literally go to the Wikipedia page for that thing, it's got a way better version you can see the whole lot from.
Is it 3-dimensional?
No, it's 2D, and then it jumps out in like, you know how the color wheels sometimes it's drawn as like separate color wheels around each other, and they get to the like the primary colors and secondary, tertiary. It does that, but for the emotions, which is way more useful than something where you can't see half the bloody chart.
Yeah, when it's like they forgot what probably the other book talks about is representation in the two-dimensional space and the illusion of depth, or maybe not. I don't know. This is intense. These are books that just sit on my shelf to make me look smart. I haven't actually read them.
Haven't you?
Well, no, I had in an internship, a professor recommended it, and you know what? In hindsight, all these years later, I'm almost kind of like, you know what? I'm not even sure he read them. I think these are books you just have. It's kind of like how a lot of people have a Bible on the shelf, but come on, who's read the whole Bible? Am I right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's long. It's too long. Just like get to the point already. I mean, geez.
You can tell when someone's actually read the whole Bible, because if you say something to them, they'll be like, "Well, actually." If you jump to da-da-da-da-da, it's like, oh, okay.
Though I'm skeptical of anyone who quotes it a lot. That's kind of like, I think that's the equivalent of just like studying some flashcards.
No, it's more like when someone can explain a concept using multiple different sources within it. Then it's like, right, okay, you know what you're talking about.
They know it.
Whether I agree with you or not, you know what you're talking about, and therefore I'm willing to listen to you.
Oh my. To raise the question of the nature of narrative is to invite reflection on the nature of culture and possibly even on the nature of humanity itself.
No, it did not go to that step immediately.
It started with it. So natural is the impulse to narrate, so inevitable is the form of narrative for any report on the way things really happened, that narrativity could appear problematical only in culture in which it was absent, or as in some domains of contemporary Western intellectual and artistic culture, programmatically refused. Considered global facts. I wanted to say problematically because that's just like a word I've seen, but this is programmatically.
I like it. It's a stupid
Considered
word.
as pan-global facts of culture, narrative and narration are less problems than simply data. As the late and profoundly missed Roland Barthes remarked. How is his name pronounced? Is it Barthes? Bart? B-A-R-T-H-E-S? Anyone know? Never really heard someone confidently say, oh, well, anyways.
I wouldn't actually know. It depends where he's from.
Yeah, I don't know where he's from. Narrative simply, they're like life itself, international, trans-historical, trans-cultural. Far from being a problem, then, narrative might well be considered a solution to a problem of general human concern, namely the problem of how to translate knowing into telling, the problem of fashioning human experience into a form assimilable to structures of meaning that are generally human rather than culture specific. You know what? It's like I should at this point I might as well just pull out Guy Debord's Society of the Spectacle if we want to just dive deeper and deeper into totally convoluted philosophy and art writing.
I had to read a book like that for a commission recently.
Yeah.
I had to read the entire book before I could start on the commission.
What was the book?
I can't say what the book is. That's like NDA.
Okay.
I had to read this book, and it was that kind of wording, and it was like, all right, this is gonna take a while.
I tend to find that artists that rely heavily on a lot of very high concept literature, the art just, I don't know, it just falls in that formula, like the highly conceptual, like, you know, you walk into the room and mostly empty.
I think there's an issue where artists can think too much. Where you end up with an issue, and I think this is particularly if it's something installation based or design based, something where this product is going to be used or installed in some way, okay?
Yeah.
Where something gets overthought and you end up with issues that you never would have had in the first place if you'd shown it to a layman. Like, as an artist, you wanted to put something across, and in the act of doing that, you've made the whole thing more difficult, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's like you take more, so much into consideration that an audience isn't going to see.
Exactly.
It's like forgetting that they don't know what you're thinking. All they have in front of them is the information you give them. They don't have this entire book behind them, knowing that this is supposed to be the reference. And
they're going to turn around and they're going to say, yeah, but why didn't you do this? It's like, well, I thought of that. It was like in my billion different designs. It's like, yeah, but that would have made way more sense.
Yeah.
I can't think of an exact example of this, but it's a theme I've seen in the kinds of work where it will come with a text that sounds like that next to it. Whereas
artist
really
statements are very much like that. And it's a certain, I don't know, I get weird towards it because I honestly feel like it is a certain brand that has been established over time that isn't entirely necessary for art to have anymore. I don't think there's this intellectual separation that art needs to necessarily have, because I think there's more room in the world for art than there used to be, because we don't need the filters anymore. We don't have to edit it like we used to.
Yeah, I like an element of it. I do like being able to, particularly when it's something that I have a familiarity with already, and then I'm looking at an intellectual's opinion of it. So someone who has a lot more degrees than me and knows a lot more what they're talking about than I do, and I can look at that and learn from their experience from it. When it feels forced, that's when I don't like it. Like when it's a backronym, so to say. So you've done the thing already, and now you've come up with why that is the thing.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like.
And in that regard, I feel like a lot of the art writing is for people that deal with art writing more than artists. I feel like because a lot of art writing is a study of artists. That doesn't necessarily mean that artists had this on their mind when they were creating. Like artists are kind of a conduit for visual culture and visual ideas. That doesn't mean that they need to be completely in tune with the literary aspect, analyzing it. You know what I mean? It's like you should spend more time studying artists and less time studying art writing. It's almost like a regret I have. Like I should have spent more time thinking about artists and the art they're making and less time concerned about people analyzing what the culture was at the time and putting that context together, because it's not, I just over time it feels like there's actually more of a separation there than I used to think there was.
Yeah, I think there's another element to it as well where that kind of goes on the opposite, where I find that sometimes I feel like I'm not thinking about things enough, and I'm just doing a piece of art because I felt like doing a piece of art, which is a completely valid reason to make something. Like, that's why most people make artwork.
It's a great reason, actually.
Sometimes it feels like, well, I didn't have a message to put across, therefore this work means nothing. Do you ever get that? Like a weird sense of guilt because you didn't do something that changed the planet. It's like, it's just a painting. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, and the thing is I think sometimes it's a better approach to not think a lot about the message when you're making the art, because it's like so many times, like pieces that really seem to do something. There was this interview. I don't remember which actor it was, but he was, and then David Lynch, and he's making films. He works this way in particular to an extreme, which is not how everyone works. But it was the idea, I know like him and guys like in film, at least like Terrence Malick can kind of work this process where one of the actors was walking by while he was editing in one of his movies. And then the editor had mentioned a comment to him. And then Lynch was like, oh, maybe that's what I was thinking. Like his idea being that like, he has the idea, and it's more about trying to just, is it seem like the right idea? Because what you're doing is you're trying to translate something that words can't define into a language, a visual language. So, and
then someone else can figure out what you meant later.
Yeah. It's kind of like if a musician just knows that something's in key, they can just tell without, they'll just be like, that sounds right. It doesn't, whatever the sound is, it's right. They know it's right. They know when they do this sound, they know this sound feels sad. It's just getting in touch with that instinct in them. And then later someone can analyze what was actually happening. It's just that this person was in tune with it, Yeah,
that makes sense. I like that.
On that same token, though, I'll see a lot of artists that they start paintings and they just start painting, they paint shapes, and then they just morph it and turn into those things. And whereas that can make interesting paintings, I do feel like sometimes that process can get a little redundant, and it's getting a little overused now to the point where it's like, I kind of feel like you see enough of that, you kind of know what the painting's going to look like before it's done. You're like, it's going to be the one with it.
Is that a storytelling issue? Like, if you watch a movie and you know how it's going to end, that's a storytelling issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you see a painting starting and you know exactly what it's going to look like at the end, that's like an issue with the storyteller themselves. Like, they haven't, for whatever reason, I think the most common is not having the worldview enough. Like, you're trying to, for example, you're trying to do a piece about Japan, and it's either like feudal Japan or modern Tokyo, and it's like, you know what it's going to be. But if you'd visited all of Japan, maybe you'd do like an obscure Kyoto village or something, like something.
Or maybe you would do something that takes place in like Japan in 1985.
Yeah, or like 1920s.
Because you know, Japan existed in 1985. Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there is a time in Japan in between swords and fighting robots. There's a long period of time that Japan happened in those years, and some pretty significant things were going on, and nobody
no one
seems to make anything about it.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It's like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there was a pretty significant time in American history, though how short it is, that it wasn't just a draw at noon, and ride your horse to the saloon. And we didn't go straight from that to McDonald's. The funny thing is I had a history teacher that put this really well. Is the actual time of like the Wild West, American West, was actually shorter than Louis L'Amour's writing career, who wrote about the West. Like, he wrote about it longer than it actually existed. Kind of like how the show MASH like went on longer than the actual Korean War did.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so his writing career about the West was longer than the West actually lasted.
Well, I mean, the West lasted, like the actual West.
That's still around. It's out
West
there, but not in the same way. Well,
we've always been able to go west.
Well, I guess what ended a lot of the idea of the cowboy in the West was when the land became, I don't know if it's state or if it's federally owned. So if you drive along a highway in the desert in Western United States and you look off the side, it's everything. There's like a small barbed wire kind of fencey thing blocking everything off. And that's when that land used to just be open. And then when that land got, kind of closed off federally, they kind of determined that was the end of the Wild West, because it was now like owned land.
It was no longer wild.
Yeah, it was not just like, you don't just go out there and just be like, well, this is just where I am now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really do that now. In case you want to, get off the grid, and I don't want to live by the man's rules anymore. It's not as easy.
Screw the man anyway.
Yeah, you could probably get away with it in Alaska. They'd be like, yeah, you can have that mountain.
I really like your piece so far. I just want to say that.
Thank you. I have a long ways to go.
I know, it's very early on, but I don't know. I really like this piece so far. I don't know. I have good feelings.
I appreciate it. It makes it really awkward because I really hate your piece right now. I'm just kidding.
I believed you for a second.
No,
oh my heart.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll just sit here and eat this entire bag of potato chips.
Just hear the crunching sound. Don't even talk. You just hear the crunching sound of the chips being eaten. And then what you would hear is the bag crinkle up and get thrown away. And then you hear the sound of some ruffling of some change, and then a deep sigh, and then that would be the end of the podcast.
And I just jump it back to my face for like that one shot of just a single tear staring off into the distance, just past the camera, not staring at it, just past it. As if I'm looking on at what my life could have been if you'd actually liked the cat that I was drawing.
There's some good art writing here that I wanted to read from the chat that Who Died wrote.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to read that, actually.
I know, I've had it saved here. Although I'm not a painter, I think that the subaqueous qualities of the purity of line makes resonant the distinctive formal juxtapositions. It should be added that the optical suggestions of spatial relationships endangers the devious simplicity of the remarkable handling of light. The instant art critique phase generator is the best thing in my... Oh, there's an instant art critique phrase generator.
Phase generator sounds way cooler.
I wish it was a phase generator too.
Imagine if we could turn into holograms. We could do this podcast as like holograms.
Oh, Like just we just like appear in people's rooms
Like
awkwardly.
a right outburst there.
Well, I was kind of like I got excited at the idea, and then halfway through me like analyzing it, I realized I didn't entirely understand it. So it was like an excited then confused, like oh, you know.
Yeah, we could be like little holograms sitting on people's like art desks, chatting, being like, "Hey, what's up?" And then people can draw around us and be like, "Yay!" I think that'd be fun.
I want my hologram just to lurk over their shoulder while they're drawing. Unfortunately, I wish it could just breathe on the back of their neck awkwardly.
No.
And then every time they start drawing a new part, my hologram just goes.
What is that supposed to mean? What does that represent?
Just like the awkward, like, that's not working. Just.
Right. Okay. It sounds more like you're having issues on the toilet.
Well, that could be that too. The hologram will also just be in the bathroom and they walk in. I'm always there. Just, that's it. That's all my hologram does.
We're taking it back. No holograms.
I think we should take it even further. We're going to talk about holograms in the bedroom now.
Oh, God damn it.
How is everyone doing? It's so hot in this room.
Oh my God, it is here too.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the worst thing.
Worst thing is I want the fan on, but it's like, it's a lot of white noise.
Yeah, I can't have the fan on because it'll just be like way too loud. So, oh well.
See, you can constantly hear that in the background now.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not too bad, but I've got shitty headphones, so maybe other people will know.
I need to invest in a silent fan. I'm gonna just stand here and hold it on myself. They have fans that are like really quiet, I think.
Oh, they must do because you have to get them for PCs, don't you?
Oh, I should just buy some type of computer fan that's really quiet and then rate that.
Get a cooling system, like a liquid cooling system, just like
I'll just do a little bit cooler, and I'll just have it pressed onto my forehead.
Yeah,
I'll put the fucking.
No, we have those.
What?
We have a thing here.
Like you mean an ice pack?
No.
Are we just talking about ice packs?
No, we.
Is that what it's all? Okay, we just realized that ice exists.
No, shut up. We have a thing here, right? It's like a gel pad. Right,
yeah.
You rip off a layer and you're left with a gel, and you stick the gel to your head, and it instantly cools you down, and you can wear it for like 3 hours.
In public, I assume.
If you want. It's for people suffering from fevers to cool them down really fast.
Oh. See, I was thinking more along the lines of like wasn't it Jacob's Ladder when they just throw them in the tub of ice, right?
What?
Did you see that movie? Did you see the movie Jacob's Ladder?
Have you learned nothing from this show?
Oh, that's right. You don't see any movies, but you've seen movies.
I've seen some, yeah. Just not any of the ones that you'll ever reference.
Who Died made a GIF of their progress so far. Or a GIF. I don't know. However people want to say it. I've been yelled at for saying it either way. I'm just going to call it something else entirely.
What are you going to call it?
I don't know. A biff.
A biff.
I'm going to call it a biff.
A bibbidi bop biff.
Bibbidi biff biff. A biff tannin. You probably haven't seen Back to the Future.
I have seen Back to the Future.
There we go.
There you go. There's something that I have seen. I don't think...
Good film. Classic.
I think my family would disown me if I hadn't have seen that.
Yeah, that's like, you have to see that movie. That's just like it's just a part of life.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
It's just like, it's also used as like a staple argument for time travel movies. You know what I mean? There's like the Back to the Future theory on time travel. And then there's like the Primer theory on time travel. There's like the 12 Monkeys theory on time travel.
What is 12 Monkeys? I see adverts for it all the time. I don't know what it is.
I forgot that movie, like that, it's weird because I didn't think anyone like talked about that movie anymore. I remember when it came out and it was pretty bizarre. It was one of those movies I think that was making Brad Pitt's career, you know?
Well, I think what's happened is there's a TV show coming out based off of it. It's called like 12 Monkeys or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Who Died says I've seen a lot of anime instead. It's true. I've seen a lot of like a lot of stupid anime. I've seen some good anime. I've also seen a lot of stupid anime.
I haven't seen very much anime. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get you into anime. I'm gonna get you into BS anime.
I don't know. What's BS anime? Like just like bullshit anime, or is that like a
Yeah.
whole thing of anime referred to as BS anime?
Bullshit anime.
Okay.
I just finished a fantastic BS anime.
Yeah.
It was called The World God Only Knows, and it was fantastic.
Why does that sound familiar? Just
I might have mentioned it. I might have mentioned it before. But it's like a harem anime. It was brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super into harem animes at the moment. I jokingly watched one because I thought it'd be a laugh and I needed to have a laugh.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of them are fantastic.
They won you over.
Well, I don't watch any of the ones that are like actual harem animes where like the guy gets with the girl or whatever, like or fan service, all of this. I don't actually watch any of those. I watch the ones where they're like meta jokes to do with other animes. Like all of the girls are tropes. So then the guy's like, oh, it's the library girl. You only ever see her in the library. She's a really boring track. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like just sitting there slamming like loads of other animes and then just having a laugh about it. Like there's this one, When Superpowers Become Commonplace. And it's all about these like kids. One day they get superpowers. They're in high school. It's like going to be the best thing ever. And then they realize there's no point in having superpowers. There's nothing to save or anything. So they just kind of mill about and kind of like use their superpowers for the lulz and don't do anything really with them. And then one of the characters, the main guy, his superpower doesn't do anything. Okay. So his superpower is that he can make a random black flame appear in front of him. And whenever he does it, he'll spend like half an hour explaining this like ridiculous attack move. You know how like in anime or like Japanese games, they shout off the attack move. And it's like,
yeah, and there's like and there's the animation of everything shooting by them really fast.
Yeah, it's like
and then,
zooming around. It's like, I summon forth the god of evil and open upon him the gates of hell. Like he'll spend like 15 minutes saying all of that, and all it is a black flame that just sits there. It doesn't do anything. It's fantastic. And he's like, it doesn't matter what it does. What matters is what it represents.
And admittedly, I always wonder is why doesn't the person just like block or move?
Yeah, exactly.
And you have 9.5 minutes before the thing happens.
And they do that joke. Like in one of the bits, she just like kicks him in the face whilst he's midway through. He's like, you can't do that. I'm doing my thing. And she's like, I don't care. You're in the middle of a fight. Sort it out.
They just do the move and then they're like, oh, they left a half hour ago.
Yeah, so I like that kind of thing. I like meta stuff where it's just making fun of everything else that you've watched that you think, actually, no, yeah, that was stupid.
So, you know, a lot of these jokes would probably go over my head because I wouldn't know that they could be like, you know, tropes or cliches among the anime world.
Yeah, so I think God Only Knows is a hard one to get into if you haven't seen a lot of anime. Even I, like, there was a few things. There's I can't understand what my husband is saying. Only watch that if you. By the way, that is the actual name of the thing. That's the name of the show. Only watch that if you've seen a lot of anime, because even I struggled with that. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Which is the whole point of the show. It's about an otaku guy, like a weeaboo guy, marries just like a regular girl, and she never knows what on earth he's talking about. So he's sitting there like going on about mega anime manga stuff, and she's just like, shut up, I don't know what you're on about. It's absolutely hilarious. Every episode is like 3 minutes long, which is kind of brilliant. Like, it just means that you can just stick a random episode on and just have a laugh and then be like, okay, that was 3 minutes of just funniness. Okay.
Wait a minute, what we got? Last anime I saw was the one with the monsters, like just ruining everything, right?
That sounds like every anime.
Well, give me a minute here. It's like there's like the cities like shaped in like rings, and they look pretty much like big fat American monsters. Yeah, I was like 5 episodes deep in that. I'm kind of surprised I stopped watching. I kind of liked how completely hopeless everything seemed in that one. That was kind of intense.
I've heard good things about it. I haven't watched it though.
Oh yeah, they're creepy.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I don't know, I was impressed by that, like, there's just no hope. There's just no, even those first few episodes, it was like, well, this is,
Yeah,
this isn't gonna turn around, because it's like literally every time someone thinks they have like an idea, it's like before the idea can even start to be executed, it's just like, no, that won't work. And, and then it just gets more claustrophobic.
I've heard it's the kind of thing where you don't get attached to characters. It's like, just don't bother.
Yeah, I mean, even in the brief thing I saw, by the end where I was in the episode, I actually was kind of like, can they do that? You know, like, can they do that? All right, interesting. I don't know where the show's gonna go now. I hear it kind of like the first like 20 episodes or however long it is, or some odd episodes are good, and then it kind of starts to dwindle in quality. I don't know. I'll get around to it eventually.
I don't know. There's a good if people like listening to podcasts, which I assume you do because you're sitting here listening to this, there's a good show called Manga Pod, and they do a lot of like first impressions. You can watch the beginning of the episode and see the first impressions, and then if you want to hear their in-depth stuff about a certain amount of chapters of the manga, you can listen to the rest of it. And they do like every manga ever. Like most of them I've never heard of, but they'll pretty much do all the manga that's been turned into an anime. So you can look at that and see how it's going to progress. And if you're happy with the way it's going to evolve, then you can go ahead and watch it and know that it's going to not change. But there's a weird habit of anime where it will change into something you never expected it to change into. Like it completely changes genre or something. Like that kind of happened with Sword Art Online. Like I really liked the first season of Sword Art Online, and then the second season, it like I feel like half the characters completely changed. It was really strange. I was just like, oh, I can't bother with this.
Huh. That's weird.
I think it's because they then see what the fans are cottoning onto, and a lot of the fans, unfortunately, the vocal fans are very, oh, can we have more of the girl and her tits? It's like, oh, brilliant, thank you, fantastic. You've just ruined a brilliant character because now everyone wants to see her in whatever position you stupid fans want.
Yeah. So suddenly she never bends her knees anymore.
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly.
just at the waist, right?
Like there's a fantastic character who in the first season is a badass like sword samurai girl, and like she's as good as the main character, which is rare to have. You don't usually have two main characters who are as good as each other and can back each other up. And then the second season, she spends the entire show tied up in a cage somewhere so that they can have like a load of shots of her tied up. And I was like, I can't watch this. I'm sorry.
No, that's
You just ruined
silly.
like the best part of this show.
That's just silly.
Yeah.
They got enough pander. When they got all the things and everyone's like, oh, we want to see more of this, they should have killed the character.
I'd just be like, no, goodbye.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Be like, oh, yeah, I really like this. Oh, yeah? Dead.
Is that how Game of Thrones works?
And we're replacing this character with a heavier set feminist. And then just like let them deal with that.
Yeah.
And then work hard to make that the most likable character in the show. Then suddenly be like, oh my god, this character's really intense. And then they lose all those fans, and then the show gets canceled.
It's true.
But it goes out with a bang. I remember when I first saw Cowboy Bebop, I really liked it, and then I liked it less over time, and then I eventually gave the DVDs away to a friend. It was kind of weird though. I don't know, like it went from being like, this show's so awesome to kind of like, this show's okay, to kind of like, I don't know about this show anymore. And then that was it.
Everyone I hear from says that it's like the best show ever, and I've never seen any of it.
I thought it was good, but to be honest, man, just like repeated viewings, it just like, I don't know, it just felt kind of cheesy, right?
I've heard.
Are we going to lose a bunch of viewers because I just said that show is kind of cheesy? We probably are.
The most common thing that I've heard is from people who don't like most anime. They love Cowboy Bebop, which I don't know what that says about it. But that's what I've heard. Like a lot of people who otherwise don't want to be involved in anime at all say that they love Cowboy Bebop. So if you're out there and you hate anime, maybe give it a shot.
It's just pretty. I mean, what's the story? It's the same plot of Firefly, I mean, not to say I don't know. I mean, maybe Cowboy Bebop. I don't know what came first or whatever, but I mean, that's just what. If you had to describe the show to someone, it's like it's just Firefly. It's space cowboys. You know,
Yeah.
like oh, money's tight, got to do the job. Moral dilemma happens. Oh, didn't make the money this time. Moving on.
I mean, Firefly was fantastic.
I love Firefly was great. I love Firefly. I'd say Firefly was better than Cowboy Bebop. I think Firefly didn't try as hard to be cool, which I like. Though I mean, I just for some reason that intro I can't. It's just like gets me. And the intro song, I'm just like, oh Jesus, I can't do it.
What, Too Many Feels?
No, it's just like so. Maybe it just feels like so. It feels like a old like USA Network like kind of cheesy.
Oh yeah.
Show. Like I think a great example is there's a show Lars von Trier did back in the day called The Kingdom, and it was about a haunted hospital, and it was really weird because it had like this intro to the intro where it's like the intro that says the quick story, like the like literally like the 30-second intro thing to the title screen, and it looks amazing and awesome and weird and creepy, and then it goes to like the cast intro right after, and it's such a dramatic shift in quality because one's just really cinematic and beautiful and weird and creepy to cheesy like shot on VHS like cheesy song like in the 80s. It's such a dramatic shift, and I don't know, and so it kind of like it reminds me of that a little bit, where it's just like this intro does not live up to the quality of the show. Like it was that thing, like because if you see a first episode, the first thing you see is the intro, and that's when like obviously if you're watching the show, that means you have a friend that's been harassing you for a long time to watch it. So you're there, and then the friend's like probably has got like the right look on their face, and then the intro starts, and you look at your friend
I'm always that friend.
Oh, I'm that friend too, all the time. And then you like if you're watching a movie and it's funny and something laughs, I'm the friend where that's like looking over, like laughing, like right, guys.
And like no one else laughs, and it's just oh god, what have I done?
No one's laughing. But yeah, that would be that moment, and then that intro come on. You look at your friend like, "Are you serious? Like, what's this show?" And then you gotta like, "No, wait, hold on," and then it gets good. I don't know. I guess Cowboy. I gotta watch it again. It's been a long time. It has a corgi in it, right? I like corgis.
Everyone likes corgis.
It's hard to hate a corgi.
I had to give Firefly like the first time I watched it, I didn't get into it. Like the first episode.
Yeah, you gotta give it a couple.
Yeah, I had to give it another go because it was like weird to get into because it's so different.
Yeah, and you have to learn the characters. You got to learn their quirks, and the thing I think the what got me on Firefly, like I was enjoying it, and then when I was just like, okay, when I went from that to just like the show's awesome, is like I remember like the first moment in it where they some guy like gets on their ship and takes one of them hostage. And he's just like, dude, you do whatever. And he's got like the gun to her head. And then the captain just walks on and without even like skipping a beat, just shoots the guy in the head. And then they just throw him off. The fact that like they don't even deal with a hostage scenario because genuinely it doesn't make sense. Like the guy's holding the gun, so he just shoots him. And then they throw him off and move on. And I was like, that is so genius. Like, of course, like why wouldn't you just, it was just, I don't know. That right there was just like, okay, this show's awesome. I haven't seen a show or a movie address that in that way before. Maybe a little bit with the Indiana Jones and the sword fight and just shooting the guy, but pretty much just that. It's like, yeah, he does have a gun. He wouldn't need to do a sword fight. I think I heard somewhere that they did that because Harrison Ford was feeling pretty ill, and he suggested, why don't I just shoot the guy? And they're like, all right. You win, Harrison. Did you hear they're making Blade Runner 2? That's going to be good.
I haven't seen Blade Runner 1.
Yeah, just, I don't know. It's fine.
I've got it.
Just make sure it's the one where Harrison Ford doesn't have, like, the dialogue, the narration over it. Make sure it's the director's cut without Harrison Ford saying things boredly. He always does.
Why would you watch something with someone talking over it?
I don't know. But that's how, like, I guess the original
And again-
theatrical version.
I guess that's all of YouTube.
Yeah, you know what? You know the worst thing on YouTube is when you go to watch like a music video or anything, and then someone puts their own stupid little like production screen before it, like they
Yeah.
made it themselves. Like a Tyler's in the bedroom production. It's like, dude, Tyler, you didn't make this this music video. I'm sorry.
You're literally like stealing it and posting it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're literally just some dude who made something in Photoshop and fucking pasted this on before a video, and he even put ads before it. How dare you?
I mean, if you're gonna watch it, you might as well put like. If I was that guy, I'd put adverts on it.
Yeah.
If I know that someone else is gonna watch it, you might as well get some ad revenue for it. Call me a sellout, but like seriously. Can we appreciate the fact that our very own Matt Dyson managed to get on the front post of Reddit
Yes.
this
Yes.
week?
For
But,
power washing a dick drawing on the sidewalk.
Like, the guy makes adorable artwork, okay?
Yeah.
And he has a fantastic stall at MCM and looks after all of us artists. What gets him famous? What gets him internet success? Dick pressure
drawing.
washing. Like,
Dick drawing. Dick drawing gets him to the front of the internet.
it was amazing. Like, you should have seen his Facebook feed. Everyone was just like, dude, have you seen that you're on Reddit?
Well, he uploaded it to Reddit himself, right? Like someone else
Yes.
didn't put that there? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good video. Good
It
use of a
actually-
GoPro.
It was really well done, actually. He's got some great footage from conventions as well done on it. But I think he's compiling a bunch together to do something special with it.
Mhm. That's funny. I heard about it because I was going. I was meeting up with Smokey Beard for a night of beer and shuffleboard, and I get a text from Tim. He's like, "Dude, Matt's on the front page of Reddit. The power washing video." It's like, this I gotta see.
It's actually legit brilliant.
Yeah, it is a great video.
Highly recommend. Let me just put it in chat on YouTube. Okay, so if anyone wants to see that, jump over to Cuppamat, CUPPAMATT on YouTube, and you can see the amazingness that is there. Oh, Metabarrow says they were on the front page once as well.
Where were they on the front
What
page?
for?
What brought them to the front page?
No, I'm asking. We shall find out.
I don't know if I like this drawing.
Oh, my kitty looks sadder than the real one. I think it's absorbing my inner feelings.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna give it some smileys, little tiny smileys.
Give it a smiley on the side there.
Little,
Turn that
little-
frown
little-
upside down. I drew Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert riding a shark stencil. Oh my god.
Awesome.
Fair enough. I don't know who that person is though.
What?
Wait. Wait, I'm gonna Google.
I'm
It's
kind of
not.
surprised Stephen Colbert didn't get out there. I mean, I figured that's pretty. I mean, that's like not knowing who like Ricky Gervais is. You know,
Did you just say Ricky Gervais is?
Ricky Gervais. Gervais. Is it Gervais?
Oh, I've seen this guy's picture. I've seen him on like reaction gifs and stuff.
Oh man, his show was brilliant. It was so good.
Like the thing is, you Americans, you have like loads of like late night with da-da-da and loads of stuff like
Yeah.
that. We don't care about that.
Well, yeah, you guys have like game shows that like aren't game shows.
Yes.
It'd be like a weird thing where all your famous people like sit at a table, and then a guy like says a weird topic, and then someone says something, and then you're like, "Is this a contest?" And like, I don't know what the hell the show is. And then it's
The
but
points
then
don't matter.
yeah, you know, it's like, but it's every show. It's like I'd be like, "Oh, we're watching QI." I'm like, "Is that a game show?" And it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like a
Someone posted in the RUK or whatever it is subreddit how are the points worked out on QI?
I didn't know there was even points. I just every time I see a clip, it's
There
just,
are, but there's only one guy who knows how they're added up, and he's one of the like QI elves.
Oh,
And he's the only one who runs the whole thing for the points. So they don't
Interesting.
find out what the points are until the end of the show.
oh, interesting. Usually, I just expect Jimmy Carr to kind of say something offensive and kind of brilliant at the same time.
Oh, Meta Baron says that's because he asked Banksy for a stencil the night before. I was actually contacted by their staff to use the design on some medals he was going to give away to his staff. Oh, that's welcome.
Wow, something happened when he got on the front page. I got on the front page. It didn't lead to shit.
What? Really?
Yeah, I was on the front page. Nothing happened.
Clearly you suck. Because
I honestly think it is. Front page like makes people's careers, and then I get on the front page,
the
and
stuff
I literally.
I've heard from
Yeah.
people who have gotten on the front page blows my mind. It's like it's stuff that I can't say, but it's like, because obviously it's their lives, they can say if they
Yeah.
want to. But you realize how much it means to make something go viral. Like if you
Yeah.
can make something go viral, you can get a lot done. But you've got to be on the ball at the exact moment that it happens, and you've got to contact a ton of people. But it's ridiculous.
When I got on the front page, my image suddenly had hundreds of thousands of views. I had 2 people ask me if I have like prints, and I didn't because it was a thing I had just made. And I had 1 person ask if I do commissions. These are private, and that was it. I got like 3 personal messages that led to nothing, and then my life went exactly back to where it was.
Oh.
It never left where it was. It affected absolutely nothing. I think maybe I'm the only artist who's had a piece of art hit the front page and have it absolutely change nothing in their life.
Did you do any kind of marketing with it? Well, I mean, you didn't have prints, so clearly not.
No, but what prints I did have and art I did have that was for sale, like nothing changed, nothing sold, nothing.
Well, the thing is, obviously no one knows when they're going to hit and go like viral.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you ever have anything that has the potential to it, you have to have something that's
Well, you need
ready
something
to monetize.
merchandisable.
Yeah,
Like
it
if
needs to be
mine was a
fully
landscape,
monetized.
that's not gonna like if I had something like a funny thing, and then it was like a shirt, then yeah, I'd probably be like sitting on a yacht right now on Shirt Island. But I had a landscape painting. I was proud that a landscape painting drew enough interest from the internet to end up on the front page.
Oh yeah,
But it was overall kind of disappointing that it like I didn't like that being something that hit some level of viralness led to $0, like nothing changed. Like I got off work and I was like, whoa, front page, cool. And then I got home off the train 45 minutes later and like nothing was like just nothing. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know. Sometimes like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. It was nothing.
I feel like we got some feels there.
It was a little bit. I won't lie. Like that feeling of like that thing where like literally anytime you see an artist thing get anywhere, like stuff happens for them, and there's like at least some, even a small measurable level of some type of benefit or success, and then to like, it's like I might have broken new ground here to like get art on the front page and lead to nothing else after. Like that's almost hard to do, I would think, but I don't know. I'm pretty proud of myself. I managed to.
Did it not link to any social media or anything?
I mean, there was my website that saw a slight bump,
Oh,
and I had, I think, my Instagram and stuff, and nothing. I don't know. Did I think I had my Instagram then. Did I have my Instagram then? I don't know. It was a while ago. It did absolutely nothing for me. It was pretty amazing, and that might be the only time that'll ever happen. That was pretty exciting. Let's see here.
Who Died is talking about how people were shit commenting on Meta Baron stuff. Yeah.
Really? Why?
Well, because it's Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Matt got a lot of that. Matt got so much of that. I jumped onto it when it was live, and I was looking in the comments, and I was like, oh dear God. And everyone was like, I don't even think this is real. I think this was paid for promotion. It's like, oh my God. By the way, I know for a fact that it wasn't paid for promotion.
yeah. Well, you can verify.
I can legit
knowing the
verify
source
that.
personally. I didn't get any. I don't think I got any shit from mine. I got a couple comments where like someone said like that I should add something in my landscape, like I think someone said I think it was as a joke that the fighting robot should be in it, and then I suggested that they can go ahead and make one with a fighting robot in it if they like, and they never did. I was kind of sad. I would have liked to have seen it.
I mean, when people request stuff for free, it usually means they can't do it themselves.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to draw a fighting robot. I didn't care that much to execute that myself, but I would have been more than happy to see someone else do it then. God bless them, but no. Yeah, I don't know.
Can we talk about something random that's just like based off of people asking for stuff for free, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's happening a lot now.
People not paying you. This is like the bane of my life right now. People literally
just
not paying me. Yeah. Vanishing off the face of the earth. And the thing is, I've realized that I'm over budgeted for this month by like over £100 that I should have. And I should be well within based on commissions that should have been paid by now.
And they're not paying.
And they're not paying. Like, I've got people who owe me money from May. Like, that's really bad. Like, the invoices ended in May.
And they just didn't. And so you're just sitting on undelivered art to them, and they're not.
Well, I haven't completed the artwork because I asked for deposits.
Oh, yeah.
Certain stages in the artwork, and they've just gotten to a point where they don't want to pay me anymore. Like, they've gone, okay, whatever.
And they paid you something so far, and then they just stopped?
No, they haven't paid anything. So I'm just sitting here, like, I can't work on other people's works because I don't want to, because I don't know that it will, whether I'll have the time to do it, because I can't accept new commissions, basically, when I've got a backlog of other commissions, but I can't do any of them because no one's paying me. And it's like,
I wonder if there's a thing you can contractually add where you just, and the thing that just says if you don't pay by this date, then your commission loses priority, and then they can pay and you can do it, but they might get delayed after that.
Yeah, I have since done that now that I've seen this happening a bit, but I basically said after a certain amount of time, if we lose contact, I will do everything that I can, and like Guys Rink will do everything they can to contact you, blah, 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 blah. If you do not meet within this time, this will happen. If you do not meet within this time, this will happen, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, these were all commissions that were agreed before that was a contract, which means they haven't signed that, which means that that wouldn't be legally binding to them.
Oh, that is a fucking bummer. That is
rough. It's so annoying. So, yeah. Do you ever face that? Like, or do you have any tips? I mean, obviously the contract is like the next thing, but if you're already in that position, what do you do?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with commissions. I don't do many commissions. When it comes to sales, like in our gallery thing, there's nothing's put on hold until they put money down. And there used to be varying degrees. We require them whatever percentage they paid. And then I kind of put my foot down where if you want to put a deposit, you have to pay half up front, and it's a losable deposit over a certain period of time. And fortunately, I haven't had to get stuck in a really awkward them lose the deposit situation, because that would be really bad. In fact, a lot of it.
What does that mean? What does lose the deposit mean?
Meaning they put a deposit to buy the art, and then they have a certain day to pay it off. If they don't pay it off by that day, they don't get a refund.
Right. Okay.
But I wouldn't have the money to fight against them if they got upset and brought legal action in that situation.
Yeah.
So more than likely, if that actually happened, I would just have to refund the money. But I mean, it's that thing. The idea being that if they put a deposit down, you keep it because you could have, in that amount of time, you might have sold the art to someone else that may have been interested. but you had it on hold for them. So but fortunately that hasn't really happened, because all the kind of stuff we deal with is just very local and the art's not too expensive. I think the longest situation we had is someone who like paid off the art over the course of like a year. Like we just sat, like this poor artist had to wait like forever until we could finally give them the full payment for their art. And it was like a friend of theirs, like they knew the person. So it wasn't totally out of the blue. It was supposed to that thing we had to just deal with this person just taking forever to buy this. And I think it was like, oh, they're traveling. But it's like, you weren't traveling that long. Like you just, it sucks chasing people.
Yeah, it really does. Like chasing people is like the worst thing, because it takes up time that you could be doing something more useful with your life.
Yeah.
And I think particularly like for artists where it is your full-time job, like this is my only source of income at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you don't pay me, then that's literally, I don't get paid this month. Like that's my payment for the month to be able to do other things. So like I'm trying to like be able to go to conventions, but if the people who commission me at a convention then don't pay me, I can't go to the next one, if that makes sense. Because I can't afford the costs for the next convention if I haven't been paid from the previous one.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't realize like there's not like an HR department that I go settle this with. Like you are the department, Like, I mean, the worst experience I had was a guy who, and this was a huge mistake on my part. Like the rule always is just it is not sold. Nothing is in action until at least some dollar hit your bank account from them. Until that point,
I think I need to do that.
You don't owe the person anything until a dollar hits your bank account. And what happened with me is I had an instance where a guy came into my studio. Art Broken was there, and we had quite an evening. I think we talked about it a little bit before. It was wonderful, but pretty much this guy comes up, looks at these 3 big drawings I have, says he wants all 3 of them for a client. Well, first he didn't mention it was for someone else, because I would have been more hesitant. Said he wanted the things. He was ready to pay. And then I was like, do you want to do credit card, check? And then one thing led to another conversation. Like he was ready to pay. He was going. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So he seemed serious. So I marked them sold, and I hadn't rung up the transaction yet. And then something we were talking about thing, and then I think he wanted to come back on like the Monday to talk about something else. So I said, oh, you can pay that. When we come back, we'll meet up at this time or whatever. So, because what it was is he wanted a larger commission. He wanted those 3 things and then a huge commission. So I was like, I had never had anything like this in my life happen before. So pretty much what he did is he walked up to me and pointed at $4,500 worth of art and said he wanted that right there. And then he wanted to commission me for a commission piece that would have probably been around 10 grand. So right here, I'm looking at like a life-changing art moment. Like, hey, you are now being connected to people that you can finally quit your fucking job and try to be an artist kind of moment. So like, it feels like everything's changing finally. By the end of that weekend, he canceled this purchase of those 3 pieces, which makes me wonder, had I rung him up, how awkward would that conversation have been when he said his client didn't want them anymore, not realizing he was buying for someone else. And then, but he still wanted the commission. So I did all this work. I took days off of work to go get prepared for this commission, where I'm like, well, okay, I can save the commission. I can still do this. I can still try to, this is a big step for me. And he just sloppily lost contact, didn't stay in contact with me or the client he needed stuff for. He had other priorities, and lo and behold, I lost the commission too. So I walked away with nothing from it. And it went from being like, you can finally try to be an artist, to like back to work. Like it was just nothing happened. It was like, after that, like I kind of did a thing where I was just like, okay, I'm not going to actively pursue commissions or anything for a while. Like I was just like that was hard. That was really hard to like deal with that, because it was a lot of like dangling everything you kind of need to get your career actually going, get the confidence, feel like stuff's happening, and then like rip it all away. And not only that, but like waste a lot of your time. And it was to someone that like, they have no idea how much it meant to me. You know what I mean? Like to them, this is like every day. They're at a certain level of success. It's not a big deal. These numbers aren't anything to them. They throw it around, who cares? And then they strung me along for like a month and it just nothing came of it. And it was just like, I don't know. I was out. I was not very active for a while after that for a while. And so now I'm just like kind of trying to get back, but I don't know. Like it was particularly hard because I don't get commission offers like very often. And if someone hits me up, it might be one of those like, hey, I want this gift. I'm trying to get 900 artists to make art for me for free. I'll get like one of those like every 6 months. But beyond that, I don't know. Like, so in my instance, I don't have things where I'm kind of, so that was the closest I think I had to someone owing me money, like close to a contract, like kind of thing, and then just not delivering. And it just sucks because you're just in that like purgatory.
Yeah, you're sitting there waiting.
They have no idea how much it means to you. My friends.
I mean, I'm at a point now where I'm seriously considering not doing commissions, which is like a big deal because one, I enjoy doing commissions. They're fun. Mm. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy designing stuff that I enjoy the fact that I can sit there and try and create something that someone's designed, and then I can show it to them. They can be like, "Oh my god, it's everything I ever imagined!" Like that's the best thing ever. But I'm at a point now where it's like, do I really want to be doing this? Because I know the headaches and the fact that the majority of clients I get now, for some reason, I don't know what's changed, but they have a habit of not paying. And it's really annoying because there's so many clients who are fantastic and who are amazing to work for and an absolute joy. And I've had plenty of them. And if anyone's listening to this and they know they've been that person, thank you. You're awesome. But there are times when it's just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
why do I do this to myself?
Well, that's the thing is like, why am I? It almost feels like you're doing favors for somebody that doesn't appreciate it at all. It's like, why am I going out of my way trying to make this whole project work out for them? And they're just like they have like no commitment to it. And it's like, all you want is a few moments of their time and something to get started. And they like won't even give you that. And it's like, why am I putting,
The really weird thing is that a lot of the people who I find this from are the most enthusiastic at the beginning. They're like, I want this thing and I want this thing and I want to create this giant thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, right, okay, here's the pricing for that. And they're like, okay, get design in. And I'm like, okay. And then you never hear from them again. It's like, what happened? You were so excited. Like you were so ready for this to be a thing. And now, and there's not even a, sorry, I can't do this anymore. Literally, you just vanish off the face of the earth. Like, what? It's very strange. I don't know. And I've seen it increasing rather than decreasing, which is very odd to me. Like I would expect it to decrease the higher my prices get and the more someone has to commit to be able to accept something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to talk about that because it was something that
well, I think it comes and goes. It comes and goes in waves, and it's just yeah, I mean, I've had only a couple instances of someone reaching out recently, and they were, we talked a little bit about before, but yeah, there's no way to like illustrate to people that it's like how much like what is a small pastime to them. Oh yeah, I was gonna have this little thing made, kind of cute and fun. They don't realize how much that means to the artist, like it's just like this is the artist's livelihood. It's like they don't understand that it is the same level of frustration that if they're at their job and there's some glitch in the payroll and their paycheck doesn't go through that day and like, oh, it screws up my bills and what if my rent check bounces and all.
Yeah, that's
they don't
exactly
realize
what it is.
it's that exact level happening to the artist. Like they don't understand that. Like it's that same thing. Like it's that big of a deal, But I don't know. There's so much.
And I think I missed who it was. I don't know if it was Slam or Metabaron or something. Someone was talking about getting screwed over by artists themselves as well. That's just as bad. Like if an artist says to you, "Here's your artwork. It's going to be by blah 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 blah," and then they never give you an update. You never hear anything about it. That's just as bad.
And what I hate about that too is what you end up doing is someone who finally reached out to artists for something, and then like you blew it, and now there's a person out there who got burned by an artist, and they're never going to buy art like that again, and they're going to tell everyone they know about the horrible experience they had, you know?
The opposite is true. I've ended up with people who've been screwed over by other artists, where it's been at a point where they didn't get what they wanted, they didn't get it for the price they wanted it for, and they were given no updates and they were put on delays forever, right? I've had multiple people end up in that situation and end up with me, and you're then having to represent artists as a general, like to prove that you're not going to do that to them. And it puts you in a kind of like a weird situation, and you end up with this kind of like, not that the client is always defensive, that's not what I mean, but like they've always got a worry in the back of their mind that you're going to do the same thing to them. And that just hurts everything. That makes everything way more difficult than it needs to be. And it's not their fault. It's the person who previously messed everything up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sweating so much. Oh, God, it gets so hot in here without the fan or the window open. Whew!
That's interesting. John F. Stanley says, it's interesting. I've seen a similar dynamic in pet adoption events. The most excited people are often the ones that fall through, and you're holding an adoptable pet for them, turning people away.
Oh,
that's
my God.
Awful.
That's like horrible.
That's another life that's getting involved there. That's awful.
Oh, God, I made a mess. I didn't know my cookie was going to be so crumbly. Oh, that's how you get ants. That's how you get ants.
That is how you get ants. That is actually how you get ants.
My apartment actually was getting really bad ant problems for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, of all the bug problems to have, it's probably the most manageable.
Yeah, it's not.
I would rather have ants than lice,
cockroaches or something.
Cockroaches, fleas, you know, bed bugs. Jesus, bed bugs. You might as well just set the building on fire.
Yep. It's the only actual logical
The only reasonable thing to do is just burn the building down. My theory, though I doubt my roommate and friend at the time would agree, but my theory is why we had such bad ants is because my the friend and roommate was homebrewing, which when you homebrew beer, it requires you to boil like a pot of sugar water for like 45 minutes. So then you have sugar water steam that gets everywhere.
That sounds like ants.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, if you like, let's say you boil a pot and you leave it boiling for like a half hour in your kitchen and leave and you come back and it's like steamed up the windows and everything. Yeah. Imagine if that's like sugar water. And so
that sounds like ants.
There was ant trails that would literally come from our backyard. They would like go up the wall of the building and like into our door. Like they were going out of their way to avoid other apartments, other things just to get in our apartment. At one point, ants were coming out of light sockets.
Oh, God.
There was a trail of ants that came out of a light socket in our kitchen, went through the kitchen, around the corner, into the bathroom, into the medicine cabinet, and were eating a cough drop.
What?
And that's when I finally contacted the landlord. And I'm like, is there like a way we could spray the building? Because I don't even know how you defend yourself from that, you know? It got pretty bad. But now it doesn't happen anymore, because there just hasn't been homebrewing here in a long time, and there was a lot of deep cleaning since.
Oh, the person I said earlier is actually Conundrum. They've just got a different name on YouTube, so just putting that out there. Just saying, so the right person gets credited. About the adoption, the animal adoption.
Oh, animal adoption one day. Oh, I cannot wait till I can have a pet. It's going to be awesome at some point in my life. One day. My parents always just said they were allergic to pets, which actually was not true.
Really?
Yeah, no, I think they just said they were because they didn't want to deal with it.
I want to get a puppy. I've been like mad on the puppy hype at the moment.
Yeah, me too. And a cat. And a platypus.
I'm done with cats at the moment. Someone else gonna have them.
Even having weird cats. I would like a dog, and I think part of it is if I have a dog, that means that I have like a life that a dog fits in, which would be like a pretty cool life.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a life that a dog fits in right now.
if you have a life that a dog can live in, you're doing all right.
Yeah, that means that like ideally that there's some room in your life to like go on a walk, right?
Yeah.
And wake up. I don't know, have enough room in where you live for a dog to make sense. That's pretty cool.
Probably
Even
near
like
a
people out
park
here
or
who are
something.
peers that have like dogs, I don't know how they make that work. It's like, you know, living in an apartment in the city, working full time. It's like, how the hell do you fit a dog into that schedule? It's like your dog never go outside. If I had a dog right now, it would be so miserable.
Oh.
It would, because it's like I'm gone so long of the day, you know, like,
Yeah. That's
And
the thing.
then-
You kind of need someone around enough.
yeah, something like, you know, and then you have to come home to, a dog should be walked, what, like twice a day or something?
I think it depends on the breed.
I imagine mine would be some type of it'd be like a Siberian Husky Corgi mix. So it'd probably have like the nature and elements of a wolf combined with the silly little legs and big floppy ears of a corgi.
That
So
sounds ridiculous.
and the need to herd, so it'd bite children. You know,
That sounds bad.
I remember one time I was getting off work and I walk outside and someone was walking their dog. There was like, and then someone else was walking with their child, like a little kid. And as the dog passed the kid, it just did this real subtle nip at the kid's face, just like a
Oh my god.
like at the kid's face, but then kept walking straight face. And then the kid just looked stunned and kept walking. And it was amazing because only the dog and the kid and me knew that happened. Like the owner of the dog didn't see it, the parent didn't see it. I was just like, oh, the dog just like went for the kid's face and then just casually kept walking. And the kid just like couldn't believe it. Like
it knew it could have. It knew it could have gotten away with it, and it just carried on.
Yeah,
Like,
the dog, yeah, exactly. It's like the dog just doing that bully thing, like just trying to like show you, like I could kick your ass, but I'll let you go this time. You know, like
That's kind of amazing.
I don't know what's going on in the chat, but apparently, Who Died is married to you. Congratulations.
It's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be announced this early, but
Yeah,
I'm glad. I mean,
that's great. I'm a little saddened that I could not be the maid of honor for either of you guys. I don't know. Whatever. I had ideas, and apparently my pen just wants to throw ink all over my paper without my permission. But all right, I guess those dots are just part of the drawing.
look, let's
now.
face it, pens don't need permission for anything. They do what they want.
Yeah, they make their own rules. They're like
Like
Siberian
pencils,
Husky
you've got
corgis.
control. Pencils, you're like, right, okay, I'm in charge here. Pens are like,
Mhm.
nah, mate.
I'm working way too slow on this drawing. This is going to take me forever. This is going to be one of those ones I'm going to finish at 2 a.m. That's all right. Congratulations, though. My brother got married. I think that happened possibly around the break.
Did you get married to Who Died?
Yes, my brother married Who Died as well.
Okay.
And so that was awkward right before your guys' wedding, apparently. So.
Oh.
Who Died mentions he has a beautiful Maine Coon, which is true. Intense kitty. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good wedding. Did my best man speech. I was terrified, but apparently it went over pretty well. People liked it. It was funny. The jokes landed, which is...
Good.
I was scared about that.
Very good.
I think it was a smart approach. I was going for the speech where I'm the little brother, so I was trying to do it out of the tone of a delusional little brother that thinks that he is like the big influence in his big brother's life.
Okay.
So that was like the theme of the speech. So it was a speech where I just sit there and just like shamelessly brag about myself and talk about how much my big brother looks up to me.
I like that.
And yeah, people caught on, so that went well.
Imagine if no one had realized what you were doing.
I was so worried about it. And then, of course, I end with like an embarrassing story. So I was really worried how that would fly with like the bride and groom, but that went over well too. And so I was just like, but I was so nervous. Oh my God. It's like a room full of strangers. I am not good at public speaking.
You do a weekly podcast to the internet live.
Yeah, but I don't have to. I don't know. I don't have to look
You
at
don't have to
anybody.
look at them though, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's funny 'cause, yeah, it'll be like 200 people will see it, but if I was in a room of 200 people, I'd be shaking like crazy right now. I don't know, but there's also things, I don't have to worry as much what I say on here, I can be in the chat making jokes about cats poking their head out of my fart cloud, and it doesn't matter.
Even though
But
it's recorded for the rest of eternity. And can be
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be a senator, anymore. Like that, I can go ahead and scratch that goal off the list after all these podcasts get out there, openly talking about farts and drugs and whatnot. But whatever. I keep going back to the chat to like reference it, and it just like gets weirder and weirder. So I wouldn't know how to bring it into conversation.
Yeah, the chat is a thing. Who Died says that they're all up for polygamy.
Oh, they're all down. Well, I'm from Utah, so I'm from polygamy land, though I'm not LDS, fundamental LDS. The polygamists themselves, though I did teach the child of a polygamous family how to swim. Well, kind of. He knew how to swim. I was just kind of there to keep an eye on the kids. And that kid was kind of an asshole.
Teaching is.
Well, yeah, I know. He was autistic, and he's kind of an asshole, to be honest. And before I was teaching autistic kids and helping them swim in a pool, I didn't know anything about it. And yeah, it's like, yeah, no, they're just as capable. They're just as creative and great as anybody, and also they can be just as big of assholes as anybody else. That kid was kind of funny, but he was kind of an asshole. He was really mean to kids.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name or what.
No, I don't.
What semi-famous, at least in the. Oh my God! There's ink all over my shirt. What is happening?
What are you doing?
I don't know. There's drips of ink everywhere. This pen must be leaking out of the side, and I'm missing it. I ruined my shirt. Damn it! What a disaster. Is this because I was talking about a kid being an asshole?
I think it was. I think that was it's the karma.
He was an asshole. He was a mean kid. He was. He's bad news.
Well, don't keep saying it because you'll get more instance to karma.
Well, you know what? It's whatever. What's going to happen now? I'm going to ruin my shirt more. It's already ruined, so screw it.
I don't know, but Conundrum's asking if you have magical underwear, and I don't know why.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I'd like to think it's all Matt. No. I got to go back in this chat and see how this came to that. Do you wear magical underwear, Funisher?
I mean, do you?
You know what? Sure.
Yes.
Conundrum lives pretty close to me, and even closer to where I grew up before I was 10 years old. Because I was born in Alameda, and then I lived in Pleasanton until I was 10, and then I moved to Utah, and then now I'm back in Oakland. We're like neighbors.
Is Pleasant very pleasant?
What? Oh, Pleasant Hill?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, Pleasanton was very pleasant at the time. It's nice now. I moved out of there before the whole .com thing happened and that whole thing blew up.
Oh, I don't know what the thing is.
Well,
but I don't know what it is.
Like Silicon Valley, which is in the peninsula below San Francisco. Back in the day, that's I mean, pretty much what happened was my family lived in Pleasanton, and then we moved out of Pleasanton, California, and right after we moved is when the real estate and everything in California skyrocketed. So had my parents decided to stay, their house would have been worth suddenly over $1 million, and everything went crazy. But we moved just 2 years before that happened on a job transfer. It was that thing where you move for the opportunity, and then what happens is immediately you get laid off. I was that's fantastic. And then we lived in Utah for a long time. But yeah, nifty old Pleasanton, neck of the woods. Yeah. It's funny. I think there's probably a handful of RGD artists out here that are Bay Area Bay Area based.
Everyone's in the Bay Area. Everyone on the internet is in the Bay Area.
Bay Area is the place to be, kind of. Not always for artists. It's actually kind of bad for artists to be in the Bay Area because it's really expensive.
Aren't there a lot of tattoo places there?
Italian?
Tattoo places.
Oh, tattoo? Yeah, there's tattoo places.
I've heard that it's pretty popular for tattoo places.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good for that. There's good stuff for tattoos and but if you're just, I don't know, a lot of people don't buy art in the Bay Area. I mean, they do, but it's not like an art market like not a lot. I mean, really, if you look at like art hubs of the US, you have like LA and New York, and then, everything else is kind of like measurably smaller. And, the Bay Area is in there, but it is still not the same. And the problem is just that insane cost of living makes it very difficult. Whereas you could have another city that could have pretty similar purchasing power for up and coming artists, maybe not like really high established, but up and coming, they'll still spend similar amounts and you'll be living somewhere that's half the cost,
Mm-hmm.
But who knows, it could turn around. Or maybe not. Mormons can't drink soda, but Pepsi's okay since it's owned by a Mormon guy, if I remember correctly. I think a part of large part of the church owns something that has to do with Coca-Cola. They also own a number of casinos in Las Vegas. Yeah, they own a lot of things that you would think would be, oh my God, Elizabeth Smart, remember her? Yes, Vanna Baron, I do remember that whole thing. Elizabeth Smart was a girl that was kidnapped by fundamentalist, crazy person. That whole,
Oh no, what are we going into now?
No, the whole, I think there's more to that story that's going to come out later over the years. That whole thing was really weird and suspicious, and it was a big news thing. But yeah, she's actually cool. Like a handful of my friends, not like know her, but know her via working in places where she would work, etc. And she's turned that whole kind of horrible thing to go through into, I believe she's doing a lot of kind of outreach and things towards that and victims of those situations and helping out quite a bit there. Famous Mormons, the Osmonds, Orson Scott Card, Brandon Sanderson. I don't know who that is.
Really?
Who's Brandon Sanderson?
He is a very famous writer. He did the later books for the Wheel of Time series after Robert Jordan died.
I thought Robert Jordan's son was taken over for that for a while, like Christopher Jordan. Oh, that's Christopher Token, wasn't? I thought. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm caught up. Also, how about Mitt Romney? Right? You almost had there was a slight chance of a Mormon president at one point. Yeah. See, they're talking about Elizabeth Smart. Yeah, she's a big activist for a lot of things now. She's really taken her experiences and done amazing things. And I don't know, when that all went down, that was all so weird. I just feel like, I don't know, something was up. But it was a fascinating story. They eventually found her like in Salt Lake, like not even that far, like probably within like 3 or 4 miles of her house, like
that happens a lot.
Yeah, it was the
whole
whole
missing or kidnapped or whatever. They tend to find them like super close to where they would have been.
Yeah, and it was the whole, like, they have photos where there were like local parties where the people that kidnapped her and her would be there, and they'd be in like covered in like a kind of a garb thing blocking their faces, and people didn't know it was them just right there. And it's like, I can't remember what it was called, the mental condition where you kind of like it's not like it's not brainwashing, but it's like that. But it's
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, that's it. But yeah, she's done amazing things, been an activist since, and yeah.
Scary things.
Yeah, seriously. I remember when that was going down. That was just nuts.
Okay. So I saw a TV show, and it was about. There's a TV show here that's about like finding out whether art is fake or real. Like art that people have had in their collections for a long time, and then they actually get it like analyzed or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a little clip of it. I didn't see the whole things, but there was a Seagal that a guy claimed to have that he'd had in his possession for however long, and it turned out that it was fake. And the only way to get it verified whether it was real or fake was to take it to the like Seagal committee or whatever it is, right? And they decide, or Chagall, whichever way you say it.
Yeah.
And they decided that because it existed, it needed to be destroyed. And it's basically now it's in a compound waiting to be destroyed because it was discovered that it was fake.
Yeah.
And this guy has had his painting that he paid for taken away from him. And I was like, oh my God, that's awful. But I realized, is that because its existence lowers the value of the market value of the rest of them?
That's where things get complicated.
So I wonder like your input on this, because I feel like you know more.
As someone who's seen fake Chagalls like in real life, it's it's all theory. Like, obviously you think of that movie like Who the Fuck is Jackson Pollock? That movie where the woman finds Jackson Pollock, and it kind of starts to feel like what's happening is the state won't acknowledge the art because it's going to devalue it, knowing there's more out there. But at the same time, they destroy it because you don't want fakes out there, because you don't want fakes entering the marketplace because it's not real. But a lot of estates now will not authenticate art anymore. A lot of major estates, Warhol, etc., stopped authenticating art because they couldn't afford the lawsuits that would come up when they said something was not real.
Really?
So they just refuse to authenticate art now, which I don't know what that means, but a lot of in the print markets are struggling because of that. But I don't blame them, like if you said, yes, it's fake, and then someone just sues you, and even if you're right and you win, it costs you a shitload of money, They just stop doing it, because you also have to remember with the art market, you're dealing with lawsuits and things that are insanely expensive because it's art. So everything, of course, is worth whatever crazy number people attach to it, theorizing what they think they can sell it for, It became a huge problem. The litigation in the art world is a huge problem now. But I guess they do hold it and destroy it if it's fake, and that's hard because if you're the person that bought it, you're kind of like, well, what the hell, But it's a think of it, if it's like an illegal thing to have, it's a forgery. It's kind of weird though, because you wonder, well, how do they hold the right to confiscate?
Surely the copyright would be owned by either the person who made it, which obviously is a fake person, but who made it, or the person who paid for it. In which case, they wouldn't have the right to get rid of it.
Well, yeah, because it's one thing if like someone stole my car and I find my car and I take it back. Well, it's like, that's my car. But if someone made a fake of something I didn't make that thing, that I didn't make the object they're holding. I made the concept it's based on, but I didn't make the object they're holding. So it is like a weird thing to me. I never entirely understood with that. I don't hear as much about it. I do hear that a lot of states try to just stay away from that completely now, and they don't like even getting involved because it tends to not financially work out too well. That became a big thing though.
Yeah, the experts on the show said that they'd never even heard of it happening. Like, they'd heard of it in stories and never seen anyone who they worked with having it happen to them. So they were completely shocked that it was decided that it would be destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, personally, in my experience with art, I've never worked at a place or anything or found anything where that actually happened. So yeah, that is. I mean, it's a ballsy move. It's a really ballsy move, you know, because you're also the one. There's a weird thing that can almost feel like a conflict of interest. Like you're determining that this thing is a fake. You take it off the market, but that's also helping you keep the value of your own market, you know? So it's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've got some artwork to share. Let's
Yeah, I
have
was
a look
just
around.
reading that. We got some artwork to show. Oh, I'm taking forever on mine. I'm so off my game. Okay. I think it's the heat. I just can't focus.
I really like yours.
I feel like I should have been this far an hour and a half ago. God, let me get this here. It's probably in the RGD thread. Okay, well, we got art everywhere.
There's a lot in the Artist Lounge podcast thread, so let's maybe do like a spin through.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh wow.
On my screen, so I'll have to watch your screen.
Why did we have something that looks like it was? What was this? Hold on a second.
I think Who Died did another RGD as well and put it in the Artist Lounge thread. I think it was Who Died.
It looks like something was. What's going on here?
What's up? What's wrong?
Oh well, this might be kind of mod stuff, so I have to figure out what it is. So I don't say anything.
Okay.
I don't understand why that. I don't understand what happened there. Okay. Wow, I have crap all over my desk. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is going to be okay. This is going to take a while to do a lot of sharing. So we'll just start working through them. First, we have the Foxtrot Oscar watercolor, which looks awesome.
Look at that.
First ever that they've done.
It's not their first ever, is it?
I don't know. I think that's what he
I don't
said.
think it was. I think it was they're trying it out and they were nervous. I don't think it was the first ever. I'm not sure. Maybe Foxtrot can confirm. But I really like the reds and the golds in the hair. So nice. So nice.
Really
it's so
well done.
like lit from within.
Mm-hmm.
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's something that only certain hair colors you get as well. Like I think red is a really good one for it. Like if you see someone with red hair in like standing in front of sunshine or something, you get that kind of lit from within effect that you don't really get with many other colors, just because of the intensity of the color, I guess.
Yeah, I was just like, my head was kind of just went into it. I was just staring for a second, so I'm
You're just like zoning out.
Yeah, I was totally zoned out. My brain's just coming back online now.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Awesome. Who Died did their first ever live digital painting of a friend. We're gonna share that because it's really nice as well.
Oh, it was Foxtrot's first ever.
See, first ever.
Yeah,
so
I apologize.
Take that, everybody else.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was done. That's a life drawing. That was done live with their friend posing for them.
Oh, that's really cool. I need to try that. I've been meaning to try that for ages, and I've never gotten around to it. That's so good.
Really love the palette in that one too.
You can't see me, but I'm like sitting here intensely staring at this. I love how carved the face looks. Like you can see all the different planes of the face, all the different colours on either side. Oh, I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Oh, so well done. And then they had there's a lot of posts here, so I have to like pull things up as I go and
I think once we've gone through everyone who's posted and we've checked that everyone's had their artwork on stream, then we'll just take maybe a couple more questions and then we'll finish up.
Oh my god, yeah, that's that time already. Oh, I'm gonna be up late again.
I'm sorry.
I don't sleep anymore. Oh.
I'm sorry, it's just like I need to get...
I'm almost tempted to just throw the drawing away just so I can go to bed.
No! Don't!
Oh.
I swear to God, I will buy it off you. I love it. Actually,
I
very
can't.
money.
I can't sleep with it just sitting there, though. All right, whatever.
Well,
Okay,
cover it with
so...
something, that's what I do. I just
All
cover
right.
everything with, like, black paper.
All right, we got this is a okay, we got Slam 9's piece here. Let's see, here we go. Which is the awesome portrait of the kitty cat.
Oh, oh, look at his little face. Oh my God. He's got such a squishy little face.
All
Oh,
squished up.
if you've managed to get this voice out of me, you've done well.
That's the cat voice. You got the cat voice. You got the cat voice out of Sarah. That's good. You made it work.
It's so cute. Oh my God. Look at his little eyes. Oh, I love cats.
No. I'm looking at the chat now. Yeah, Mike, it's amazing. Shut up. What? Oh, that's okay. I see. I understand now.
I don't.
Yeah. So with Who Died, they have drawn people traditionally in life, but this was the first time they've ever done it digitally.
Right. Very cool.
It looked awesome. So do it more, a lot more, and do more drawings of cats with squishy faces.
Squishy little faces.
Yes, what's your name, you kitty? All right, and then they also did a really nice digital value study of a piece we were looking at. We were considering for this episode. But let's see here. Share that. It's really nice. Really nice value study.
Oh, that's so good. Whose is this?
Slam 9.
Oh, look at it. I love backlit stuff.
Well, yeah, and then just a nice square brush too. I'm curious if you can post in the chat well, I don't know how that would work, but I've been looking for a good square brush, and I just can't seem to find one that makes me happy for digital painting. But maybe that's just because I'm trying to emulate traditional. But anyways, yeah, and I love the subtle glows they put around the edges of the arm and the leg and side of the dress.
Gorgeous. Like when an artist does that right, it just looks stunning, and that's stunning.
It's a nice subtle approach to it. Well done. And we've got, moving on, KM Kibble 75 has a piece here, digital piece they were studying. I don't know if this is a new viewer. I'm horrible with names, even reading them, but they got a nice piece here.
I'm pretty sure they were in chat. I recognize the name. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And they were going for capturing more of her figure there, getting her leg and composing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is a challenge because it's hard to establish a figure when you have elements of their body out of frame, but then certain parts coming in, then back out because then you can't measure things off each other.
Yeah, like it's actually really hard to draw a pose if you don't have the butt in the picture. Like
exactly.
That's really weird to say, but like that section of the body is such like a determiner for the weight distribution. Like if you there's a guy, I think it's Cynics, who will say that if you start a body by drawing just the butt, then you can figure out all of the relative weight distribution of a body just based on how that's arranged. So when you've got a picture that misses out important chunks like that, like if you've got the bottom of the calves and the lower half of the body, and then some of the arms missing. It's so hard to figure out where in space everything should be and make it look believable. But I think that person has managed to make that look believable, because I didn't think about it when I looked at it. Like, I looked at the picture and thought, oh, that's a really cool image. When someone misses it, then you can look at the picture and you'll notice, you might just think there's something not quite right, and it's usually an anatomy issue or like a weight distribution issue, but that looks really good. I really like that.
Definitely. We got some Demon Man pieces.
Yeah.
We have a Demon Man kitty in watercolor.
Oh, look at it. Oh, I was like trying to pick between the tree one and the bead one. You chose the bead one, so we covered. Did you say that was watercolor?
Yeah.
Nice. I love the beads.
Yeah.
I love the beads and the like fuzzy ears.
The kitty's getting some love.
The kitty is getting some love. I'm glad. We've never drawn a cat on this podcast.
No, it's the first time hitting up animals here. Let's see, we got also he did a Sharpie piece.
Ooh.
We always big fans of Demon Mind's drawings and line drawings.
Yeah, I really like it when
quick and expressive.
Yeah. There's so much energy there. I really like the drawings. Oh yeah, K-Man is in chat, by the way. And they're like, phew. Yeah, really cool, especially with the hair. Getting the wind in there.
Yep. And also, anytime anyone's posting anything, if they ever need a critique or however, let us know.
In general, we just say like our gut reactions to things, and usually they're really positive because we love everyone. But if anyone does want like a specific critique on anything, like put like CCW or something in the comments so that we know, and then we can say things like that. Ooh! Oh wait! Oh my god! It's a reaction. It's like a GIF.
Yeah, Who Died made an animated GIF of their piece here. Animated Bibbidi Bop. What was the word that I screwed up in the beginning? Like Ibababab or something?
You were going to say...
I would say I bought a book or something, and if I said Habbanabab.
Bibbidi Bop.
Bibbidi Bop.
Bibbidi Bop. Wait, I want to watch this through again.
I know. I don't have anything to say because I'm just sitting here kind of like enamored in the process.
You know what's weird? There's several of those that I would go, I could end it there. Like, there's several of them that I would have as like separate images and be like, I really like that one, and I really like this one.
Yeah, and this isn't even at the end. This is just the work in progress. This one isn't even in the finished result. I haven't even gone in the RGD thread. I don't know. There's probably more in there.
Yeah, Subliminal Cucumber just posted over in the RGD thread, so
all right, so I should hop on over. Let me refresh here. Ah, there we are. We have the completed Who Died piece in here too.
Okay.
All right. So first we'll start with Subliminal Cucumber.
And then Demon Man would like to hear our opinion on the Blueberry Girl that he posted before the podcast started.
Oh, okay. We'll get that in there. Awesome. Some markers.
Ooh.
Incorporating the landscape. Enjoy RGD. Sure. Nice. Switch it up. We don't need to advertise for the other one. We need to advertise RGD there.
I love that you put the legs in.
Yeah. Seriously.
Like, it's given it like a, I don't know, like a weight. Like
give it the weight.
Setting. Yeah.
Give a place to plant the butt so you can place the weight of everything else, right? Like we were talking earlier. Get the butt in there.
It's awesome. A podcast. Get the butt in there.
Get the butt in there. It's another one of our catchphrases now.
That's gonna be one of our t-shirts.
That'll be one. Get the butt in there. Sort your life out. Get the butt in there. And
atmospheric dissonance. That'll be one.
Atmospheric dissonance.
It'll be like atmospheric dissonance. Bibbidi boop.
Bibbidi bop. Bibbidi bop. I have to remember. I don't think it was bibbidi boop. I think it was something close to that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I mean, luckily for us, Luckily for us, this is a recorded show, so we can actually find it.
Yeah, we can go back and sort that out. Who Dies piece is really awesome.
Not that we ever watch our own videos.
Love how many subtle lines are in that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh,
Oh, is this the finished piece?
this is the finished one.
Oh, I've got to like zoom my face in so much here.
Yeah.
This seems really different to their normal style. Like there's a lot.
So much layering and so many things kind of happening, and then pulling, doing expressive gestural work, and then pulling out, saving elements, then knocking back others. You know.
And there's so much like texture going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if we've seen that before. I really like that. I love I see the sparkles in the hair. I really like that. Like they're dancing off it like water.
You don't see enough like using several different colors for highlights. And that's a really nice choice. That actually make me think how I should take that into consideration.
This was Who Died, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, because I've noticed that you've done the blue on the other side the same as you did with the life drawing. I was wondering, is that something that you... This is a question to Who Died. Is that something that you discovered during the life drawing process that you wanted to recreate, or was that something that you actively thought about beforehand? Like you've already been aware of that for a while? I'd be interested to know, because I think it's very interesting seeing what things you pick up from doing studying or life drawing or anything like that, and how they incorporate back into your own work. So I'd be interested to know if it did come from that, or if it was just something you already knew. Demon Man says it looks like it's moving. Yeah, I agree with that. Very, very wonderful. I was aware. That sounds like a fantastic quote. Just, I was aware. That was from Who Died. So I'm guessing that was something that they previously already knew through color theory. I really enjoyed doing any sort of backlight or reflective light. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone posted their Reddit name is Burrito Droppings. I'm surprised. I would be. How relevant is that name to the podcast?
I know, right?
Burrito Droppings? Anyways. Particularly a podcast that not only talks so much about burritos, but so many times I rambled about the mountains of bird shit on the roof next door to my apartment.
I was going to say drop the bass.
Bass.
You talk a lot about DJs and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of beat drops.
No.
Bass drops, no, I don't like them. I think I want to see people. I just to hell with them. Get rid of them. It's pandering. Stop pandering.
Damn, dude! I didn't realize you had so many feelings.
It's gonna make people angry. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
Who's next? Have we got Demon Man, a Subliminal Cucumber?
No, I think that was it.
Did you show Subliminal Cucumbers?
Yeah, I thought I did her, didn't I?
Or did I totally blank? Oh, it was the
it
was the pro markers, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I think you get mixed up because their Reddit name is Gadriel. So
yeah, it confuses me.
Yeah.
The Demon Man piece.
That's right.
Blueberry Girl.
That's right. That's what I was forgetting. Oh, I'm a dingus. Okay, here we go. Let me dig it up. It was a work in progress he had for Blueberry Girl. He was looking for some feedback. So let's have a fun critique fest. All right. Let's see here. I don't have the source for this. It's hard to critique without the source.
I'm not sure if there is a source.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know. I mean, there must be.
Mm-hmm. I have to look at what we got here.
Okay, so just to check, Demon Man, you want critique on this, yeah?
Yeah. Confirm that, and then we can dive into that if you like. I should do some pen and ink stuff here. Oh, it's so hot in this room. I'm gonna probably just pass out.
Oh, Meta Baron says that they won't be able to finish theirs until later tonight. Don't worry. If there's anything that we missed or that anyone draws when they watch this on the recorded one or anything like that, just let us know, like over on Reddit or in the Art Soundtrack, something. Let us know. And you can even remind us during the beginning of the next podcast, and we'll show it on the next show.
Exactly.
I know this one's like a little shorter than we normally do, so there's probably a few people who've missed out on showing on this show. So just let us know and we'll show it.
Yep.
By the way, I was wondering if we'd be able to show last week's artwork, seeing as
that's
the
right.
recorded footage.
Because YouTube got wacky and decided to only record 16 minutes of the last podcast and
no apparent reason.
just save the 16 minutes and nothing else.
It's really weird.
That was weird. I'm still almost wondering if the rest of it's gonna pop up, but I don't have my hopes up. Yeah, we can show that in a minute. Give me a minute here. I have to make art for a second.
It's all right. Demand Man says that they can post it. Just give them a second, and yes, they would like critique.
Okay, cool. Wait, I'm screen sharing it right now. Isn't this the one I'm screen sharing?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
So we critique it now?
Yeah, I guess. So there's a few things I want to say that I really like that jumped out at me to begin with. I just want to say them. Particularly, I like the volume in the top of the hair. I think that's really nice. I think a lot of people have a habit of making hair quite flat, and I think you've given a lot of texture in there, which I like. And also, I really like the texture on the skin to make the freckles. I'm very impressed with that. I really like that. So that's just a few things that like jumped out at me instantly that I really liked.
Mm-hmm. And then it was a bold move to put the tree centered in the same position as the head, behind the head, because it's so easy to mix up the texture of the tree to the texture of the hair. But you kept them pretty separated, which was nice and an impressive feat. Though compositionally, then you start having the bullseye target syndrome with the composition, and then this is just dealing also with the source. I don't know what the source photo is, but what can happen when you do that is then everything gets very centered on the face, and it's harder to keep a person's eye moving around the canvas and the form, and then that can be a battle that can end up detracting you from the piece as you're working on it in kind of a subconscious way.
Yeah, there's something that I like to think about, which I've been doing particularly since I've been studying character design, but I think you can apply it to pretty much every kind of composition. If you imagine it as if you turned it completely black and white or to silhouette, what would you see? And would that make sense in what you're trying to speak to? So I feel like if this was a perfect silhouette, and like I feel like the value for the hair and the tree are very close. So part of your brain wants to combine them into the same creature. Like you can tell in color that it's a tree. You can tell that from the texture and everything but you read values first before you read anything else, or at least that's what I've read. So naturally your brain is telling you that somehow the value of the hair and the tree is the same, therefore they're connected in some way, like it's a giant hat or it's some kind of feature, which meant that if you turned it completely into a silhouette, you'd end up with a very different outline than maybe what you're intending for. So if we go back to atmospheric dissonance.
I was just going to say, what can solve this problem is some atmospheric dissonance.
Yeah. So if we brought in, like, you've got a very nice tone for the sky in the background. If we brought that value into the tree more, so that we're getting, we're desaturating it slightly, we're adding in those blues, we're pulling it away from the character. Because think about how far away the tree is from the girl, us, and where it is. Like, think about the physical distance, and then look at something that has those two differences in real life, and try to think about how it changes the further away it gets from you. And a really easy way to practice this is literally just go out on a sunny day or something, pick a target, and walk towards it and see how it changes the closer you get to it, the further away from it you are. And that can make you realize just how obvious atmospheric dissonance is. You can really pull in that back color that's toned out, that's like subdued, pull that into the far away things. And even you could even pull that into the grass, like the field that she's standing on, and just kind of have it turn into a richer color the closer it gets to us, and that would create that depth that you want to create. Sorry, that's a rubbish sentence, but it would add that depth that you're perhaps missing because the values are so close. I think the texture's lovely, and I think just adding that in would really create a level of depth that would really help. I hope that helps.
No, I think it will, you know. And it's hard to measure off without knowing the reference.
That's the thing, because only the artist, I mean, I think there might be, I think it might have been posted, maybe you can have a look. I think only the artist can know the actual difference that was there, particularly if you were doing this like from imagination or from a subject that you chose. But even if you do have a reference yourself, you can use your knowledge from other things and go, actually, I'm not going to do it with the exact colors that are in the reference, or I'm not going to do it with the exact values that are in the reference. I'm going to change it so that it, it's in the Iceland Tread, so that it matches what would work best for an art piece. Because remember, you are transferring something into a completely different medium, and within that you have artistic license. You can change whatever you want to be able to make it more readable, to make it more interesting. And there's a lot of fantastic artists that we have here, and you see it come out in the choices that they make, where they'll change the hues, or they'll change the values of certain areas, or they'll really pull out one little aspect they love. Very often it's either a particular color or a particular lighting effect, and you'll see it really exaggerated. And I think rather than trying to stay true to to what you're seeing in the picture, really think about why things look the way they are, and then try to use that knowledge to make a piece that makes more sense to you and therefore your audience. And I think just like reading up little techniques like atmospheric dissonance, all of a sudden it just clicks into your brain. You're like, oh yeah, why was I not doing that? Like I've only recently started doing it because I just realized, why the hell was I not doing it before? It's like one of them things that until you have it reminded in your head, it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing that thing.
Being reminded that you're like, oh, that should have been addressed. Like,
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. Well, I was thinking with the reference thing, you know, as far as proportions and whatnot, is that juggle between proportion and the expression, you know. So on one hand, with the Munman's piece here, it's expressive, and in that, when you have something that's very expressive, you don't want to take away from that by binding it down in too many traditional rules or the formal elements.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you wanted to look, so if you were going for that kind of accuracy, if you talk about the, I like the feeling that it has already. You know, if you try to take more traditional, you could look at it and, pick it apart over the eyes a little too far apart, or the foreshortening on the right cheek stretches out from the left in a certain way, et cetera, et cetera. But, those things kind of give the piece character as well. So a lot of that's also based on intention and what you're looking for and what you want to go for, which is something only you can know yourself,
Yeah, absolutely. I think if there was one thing that I was going to pick up on to do with that particular subject, like anatomy, things like that, I think I like a lot of the changes that have been made. I'm looking at the reference now. I like a lot of the changes that have been made. I think, I don't know how fast this was done, because I know De Man does ridiculously fast stuff, and I've seen some of his stuff that he's spent a lot longer on, and you can see that time has been put in. So I don't know how fast this was taken. So if this is irrelevant information, just ignore it. Like,
Yeah,
if you already know this.
And that's an
just
important part
ignore
of critique too. Anything that doesn't work or you don't care about, just don't do it. Like, you're the artist. Like, you don't, you know what I mean? Like, some people be like, oh, and then they can second guess themselves in critique. It's like, if you don't like a part of critique, just don't do it. Like, you're the artist. Like, just make whatever decision you want, you know?
Exactly. And the thing is, we're missing context that only the artist knows. Like 4 hours. 4 hours has been in it. Like, that's really fast. Like, so you might be planning to have another 16 hours into it, but we can't critique that. So I don't know. Like, take it with a grain of salt, everything that we're saying, so that you already know where it's moving to. And maybe there'll be things that you think, oh, I didn't think of that. I want to move it to that. There might be things that you think, actually, that's not the intended purpose or anything like that. But there is one thing I would say, and that's I would focus on the anatomy of the neck. Just looking at the reference picture, and I think necks are probably one of the hardest things to draw. A lot of people say hands are the hardest things to draw, feet the hardest things to draw. I think necks are, because we don't look at them from every angle all the time. And this is something that I struggle with a lot. And it's imagining the neck as like a cylindrical object, and the way it connects into the jaw and into the head. And I think there's a few little really minor tweaks that could be done to it, and that could be adding in maybe like a little bit of the background. Like, I'm looking at the reference picture and I'm seeing that some of her hair, like, it's parted at the back, which is why it's not covering all the way round. So she's pulling it round over her shoulders. So she'll only have like the tiniest little bit of hair going down the back, which means that you can see where the neck curves round, you can see back towards the distance. Now, it's completely up to you whether you decide to do that, but I think it's important to be aware of it, and to try and get in that cylindrical nature. But I think the skin across the nose and the cheeks is gorgeous. I love it instantly. So I think just bringing the like magic that you've captured there and bringing it into the rest of the body, I think will really help. Like, I really like that skin on the nose and the cheeks particularly. I know she doesn't have freckles all over her body, but maybe getting a little bit of that texture in, that movement. And I'm sure that's something you're aiming to do anyway, because you said you've only put 4 hours in so far. But it's just something that I would focus on a little bit, particularly if you look at the reference photo, getting in like her clavicle and her collarbone, things like that. And they're very subtle, obviously, because she's very young. But it's just those slight little hue variances that you can do to kind of make it look more like a form structure, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that helped. I hope that made sense.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good advice in there. And in that same regard of adding the form, you can even see during the bottom of the image, this tends to happen when you get to the edge of the canvas. There's that tendency to just like, I mean, even it's funny for me to even be talking about this, because literally my drawing doesn't even go to the edge. I just so I feel weird giving this advice, but since the image you have there goes to the edge, be sure to bring the sense of volume all the way to the edge. You notice that the painting flattens out at the bottom. You can add some darker values under the arms and around the edges of the arms to still have it give some pop there, so the piece doesn't fall flat around the edges, because the audience will still see those edges too. So that took me. I'm always like that. In lots of cases right now, I'm not drawing to the edges because it will take me a long time. There's a lot of landscape in there. But if you are working to the edge and working quick, just quickly just throw in some dark values there down on the arms and in the lower parts of the painting. I think it will help it. It will actually give it a lot of resolution just in those subtleties.
Well, I mean, there could be an artistic choice there in making it, in a sense, blurrier. I don't know what the correct word for that is. I'm sure there is a correct word. I even think you said it earlier. I think there was a correct word you even announced earlier. But there could be an artistic choice there in, like, if you had a camera focused on her face, then the outside would be blurred. But I think if you want to do that, definitely think about maybe the volume which you can see, really push that to be like as rich as you can, and then make it obvious that it's an artistic choice, and not an afterthought, if that makes sense. Like this was an aim from the beginning to do this. I think that's hard to do, but I think you can do it.
Yeah, it's hard. But he's got a lot of it under control. You know, and the thing is a particular and an also real strong element of the Mud Man's work is like he doesn't shy away from the brushwork. You know, a lot of people will have the kind of hesitant kind of marks. The Mud Man just gets there, he throws the paint down, and doesn't let the paint push him. He pushes the paint. You know, like, but I mean, seriously, I mean that's a big thing, and so all these changes are like, whether if they're useful or not, are all very quick and manageable. So it's like, yeah, dude, it's like you're in that really nice position where you can throw it down like super fast, any changes you want to make, because you don't have to work through a mental barrier to.
Yeah, they're things that we know you can do. There. So if you choose to do them, then there are opinions for you. And I've noticed that they've said that the flowers are going to be blurryish and stuff like that. So it's obvious that there is an intent there. I would just say, something that I do a lot is if I'm going to use an effect like that, I don't do it often, but if I do choose to, I'll look at a lot of photography that creates the same effect and really look at what makes it believable. And then I'll try and recreate that. Like I'll look at what point in the image does the blur begin? At what point in the image is everything sharp? Like things like that. And how does the blur effect, does everything blur into each other, or is it more that it blurs within its own contours and things like that? So I definitely recommend looking at photography that matches the same effect that you want to create, and then using that as inspiration. But yeah, 4 hours is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, and I'm loving the I've just, as I've been looking at it, I'm loving the different colors in the hair, especially the top half of her hair from like the nose up. I really like the different reds, the different oranges, the deep aubans that are in there as well. I think it'd be really nice to start pulling more of that. I think I can't remember who it was. Someone we had on recently did it gorgeously. I loved it, and where they used the darker colors behind to pull the brighter strands out, like using that the actual physical depth of the hair so that the brighter strands that were catching the light popped so much more. I think it was gorgeous. So I mean, that's just a personal preference. I love that kind of thing, and I think you could do that very well. But I love it. I love the progress you're doing with it, and you have to show us it when it's done.
Them's the rules. You know what? I should be. Sorry, I was just using a pen on something, and I'm realizing I should have still been using the brush on it. Now I'm gonna have to put a lot of work into trying to recover it. Mistakes. That's the hardest part about mistakes. It's not necessarily ruining the drawing, but adding a lot of time that you have to.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I added that. Now I have to do all of it like that. Like I added this dark. Now everything around it has to be darker, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I was not intending for that to be the case. I just added probably 2 hours to this drawing on accident. Nuts. Anyways, hopefully that was a helpful critique for the Mud Man.
I just realized as we were talking, it's really hard to critique something not in writing. Does that make sense? Like, that's probably one of the first times I've had to actually critique something and it not be in writing.
Verbally?
Yeah.
I think it's nice verbally because it's just faster. You know, when you have to write it out, it takes forever. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to, someone's like, hey, can you critique this? And it's in the thread, and you're like, all right. You have to like take like half hour to write it out instead of just 10 minutes to just say it, you know?
I tend to have a very like strict structure that I follow when I critique something now. And I tend to like try and hit certain things. Like I'll be like, right, lighting, form, like there'll be like a set of things and I'm like, right, did they do this thing? Did they do this thing? Who Died wants to know what kind of wedding we want. Should we critique our wedding?
Yeah, we can do a critique of your guys' wedding.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of wedding I want. I don't know, but we're both wearing gorgeous dresses so that our red hair looks fantastic.
I'm flying to California in September. I think I will pee on Mike's steps and start a fight on my cell phone. Oh, heavens. The moment's going to bring the battle.
Is that because of our critique? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just how the Mun Man, maybe that's just like his California routine.
Who died? I think you should make a Pinterest for us. And we can start pinning stuff for our wedding. Okay, Demonman says, I like hearing you say things I'm thinking about doing. I need to let it sit and look at it for a day or two before I do the final touches. Definitely agree with that. That is like the best advice. The best advice coming here from Demonman to the rest of the planet. Oh my god, walk away from your artwork. And just look at it for a little bit, go to bed, then come back, look at it for a little bit, and then walk away. Like
maybe look at it before deciding if you ever, if you're gonna funisherize a piece. Maybe you should look at the piece first, right? What on earth?
Who died sewing? I'm getting a Pinterest, dude. I'm so happy. It's fine. That can be a wedding gift. What should I get you?
He's going to a guitar party in Alameda. Guitar party? What constitutes... What if I don't play guitar?
How tall am I? 5'5". And I weigh 111 pounds. Something like that. I know all this because I've been having to do it for the past 3 days. I like to have paintings catch my eye when I walk in the house. I've not been able to put all my pictures up. I want to put all my pictures up, but I'm not allowed to until I've finished painting my room. It's really irritating. Who died's happy because they're the tall one? We eat, drink, and play music. Lots of listeners. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh.
Sounds like a day out.
Eat, drink, play music. So is it like, Man, you know people in Alameda? Is this like a crew of homies you got over in the... You know what else is in Alameda is the Pinball Museum.
Yeah.
That's right. They have a pinball museum in Alameda.
You excited about that?
Well, I mean, it's a pinball museum. I kind of suck at pinball now, but I mean, it's a pinball museum.
Oh, dude, what's going on in the background of your piece? Like, the whole of the background we haven't been able to see because it's been whilst we've had all the other artwork.
I'm starting to put in some of the landscape. So, but I have to add these spots with black now because I did it on one side, not realizing that I should have stayed with the brush. And now oh boy, this one's going to last me the rest of my life. This is going to take forever. Big mistake. Big Fun made a big mistake.
That's cool. I've been falling in love with your pieces lately because I don't know if it's something that I've only just discovered or if it's something like I've only just noticed or if it's something that has changed. But your work has had so much energy lately.
Mine?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's
the ink washes probably help.
Yeah. I think the brushes like really suit your style. They really match with the cross hatching and the deep blacks as well, and then mixing it in with it's not stain, but it's almost like a stain in there. But I don't know, there's something, you have a knack of capturing a moment. So a point when a character just looks forward and the entire world and all the elements are still affecting them, but for a moment they're looking at the camera. I don't know, you've had a knack for it lately, and it's something that I've been noticing. I don't know if you've done it before, and I've just never picked up on it, but it seemed very, very strong lately.
Huh. That's interesting because I'm always like noticing that when I look at like, because I always talk about artists like Franz Hals who are just like, I get big art boners over the classic artists. That's the technical phrase, is an art boner.
Yeah.
But they always kind of capture that because a lot of the art was, all that art was done before photography. So it was always kind of like trying to simulate that feeling, but they didn't have the resources to make that moment, so they had to like, so I'm, yeah, and I think that was always interesting because it's this level of creative interpretation and like what is an immediate moment that you can't see frozen, you have to guess. It's kind of like you think about the first time they ever recorded how a horse runs, and they didn't really know what it looked like until they could record it and slow it down. Everyone always kind of assumed it would be closer to, like how a dog would run, for example. Like they didn't quite know how completely chaotic it looked until they could record it because it all happened so fast. It's the same way as like you see that video of how a dog drinks water out of a bowl in slow motion.
Oh, with like the tongue like going everywhere.
Well, yeah, because you'd think that the tongue goes out and then scoops the water up and forward, but actually the tongue goes down and forms a bowl going backwards towards their chin and then pulls out.
Like a
little ladle. Yeah, and you don't know that because it happens so fast. So I'm always kind of drawn to that idea when you have like a moment where the subject is connecting to the viewer.
Yes.
When I read art theory, like I'm not smart enough to really kind of piece together. What ends up happening is I'll read a whole book. I won't remember 90% of it. And most likely, most of my influence will just come from the title because like that's what I can remember. That's what I'm capable of keeping in my brain. So I read James Elkin's book, The Object Stares Back. He talks and there's theories and he researches and he's a smart guy and it's pretty straightforward. I remember it being that way. Don't remember the book. All I remember is the title, The Object Stares Back. And I'm like, that's good enough. Like I can think enough about that to have it influence my work because it's a very interesting line to say.
It's almost a poem, just in one line.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I felt less guilty about it. I went to, back in Salt Lake, I went to a Crispin Glover movie. We talked about Back to the Future earlier. So, you know Crispin Glover, the actor who played George McFly in Back to the Future. Do you know anything about him kind of outside of Back to the Future? He's a pretty bizarre guy. And
no, I don't know anything.
He's bizarre. And he's director, makes his own films, and they are out there. Like his films are like I saw. And he filmed them. He filmed them in Salt Lake, so he's kind of connected with the Tower Theater in Salt Lake and a lot of the kind of independent film scene out there. Kind of what he would do is he would do a Hollywood movie and then use the money from that to make his own films, his own kind of more less accessible artistic films. And they're very like they're controversial. They're bizarre to watch, So I was at. He goes on tour with them. He'll show a film and he'll be there in the theater. I didn't know this. I just went to go see the movie because I heard about it. It's called What Is It? And I'm like, oh, I've kind of heard about this. So I go just by myself. One of the few times I went to a movie theater by myself. And then when the film ends, and then he walks up on stage and he's like, anyone have questions about the movie? And I was like, what? Like, you don't expect like the director to just be there and walk on stage, And so people are asking him questions and talking to him about it. And it's and I remember I talked to him about it because at the time I worked at that school for autistic and disabled children. And his film is all starring people with disabilities, and primarily Down syndrome are all the actors. And it's interesting because it's a very rated R film, and it's an odd thing to see a film with people with disabilities, like in violent or sexual content. It was a very new experience. So I had asked him a lot about that and reactions in the community and the actors, because he knew them. They were like people he worked with, and a lot of people at the co-writer of the film had cerebral palsy, and a lot of the film, like if you just see it without knowing the context, it's going to look, you're going to be like, whoa, what am I watching? What is this? But it's co-written by a man with cerebral palsy who spent a lot of his time in an institution by people that thought he was mentally disabled. He wasn't. He was just physically disabled to a certain degree that made it look like that there was a mental disability when there actually wasn't. So the screenplay is a lot about being trapped inside your body and not in certain elements of being human taken away from you, whether they be reactive or violent or sexual, like not being able to act upon those feelings and instincts. But regardless, so the film touches on a lot of intense, deep ideas. But then when he talked about it, he talked about the book Beyond Good and Evil. And the thing is he's mentioned how he's like, a lot of it is the book, everything that was, all the philosophy and the ideas behind the book, I didn't think much about it. I just couldn't get past the title. Like the title meant a lot to me. And he took that influence from that one line. And I think that's what's so funny to me about art is we can get so deep in the theory, but it's like really all it can come down to is just this one idea. There's a root idea to all that theory, and anything else is like, in my own instances, it's like, is this really going to add to the work, or am I still just kind of dwelling on the sentence, on the object staring back, So, anyways. That's my rant. I don't remember how I got into that.
Yeah, that was a very long story, and I was expecting it to come full circle, and it.
No, it just stops.
Sort of did.
No, it just stops. That's what I do. It just stops.
I was expecting it to come back to how it had influenced this particular thing that you'd been doing.
Oh well, it didn't, because it's much like the story. It's just the one sentence. Like it doesn't.
Right.
It's not a direct correlation. It's just a kind of an idea in a mood that I've been, much like how I look at my heroes. You have like David Lynch in an editing room going, oh, maybe that's what the hell I was trying to say. It's like that. Like hopefully it gets through on a level that's subconscious enough where, a book like this goofball book with all these big fancy pants sentences, write it all out all you want, but I want to get there. I want to get there just by instinct, and through sheer repetition. And speaking of, whatever, I don't have a proper segue, so I'll just dive into it. Is we have Tim's piece finished of this adorable, snuggly cat drawn in pencil.
Look at its face.
His face, so happy. Look at you in the pillow, you're so cute.
Oh my god. Wait, is it supposed to be sideways? Is it supposed to be rotated right? I don't know.
Oh, wait. Well, it can probably go that way. I don't know which way it goes.
Oh, look at it.
What if it goes this way?
No, look at it.
He's a bat cat.
Look at his fuzzy little tummy.
Yeah, right?
What's that been done with?
It's just pencil.
Pencil?
Yeah, it's just pencil.
What? No, the fluffy tummy fur?
Everything in this is just pencil.
No, Tim.
Yeah. Here, let's see if we can
Tim,
get like kind of more.
What are you doing?
You owe an explanation.
No, how can you do that? Did he just color in around where the fuzzy bits would be on the edge of the black?
The outside of the fur. So he had the texture of the pencil all going this way, and then just filling it in and in between the fur, and then
He's so cute and fuzzy.
It's basic. Oh, you just want to pinch his ears and rub his tummy, even though it's a cat, and he'll probably eat your face if you try to touch his tummy, but the cats will freak out.
It's true, but like he's got the biggest happy face ever.
Oh, he's so happy.
Foxtrot says, damn, that's a great snuggly cat. Who Died says, Tim is the best. Slam says, Tim is the man. Demon Man says, I always love Tim.
Yeah, everyone. Tim is the man.
Who Died says, the fact that he's still not on RGD is an outrage. It's true.
Yeah. One day. We'll get him. It'll
One
take
day.
time. We'll get him. One day I'll show that asshole. Get him on there. Son of a bitch. I'll kill him. What?
He needs like a drop the mic account where he just shows up, posts his art, and then disappears off the face of the earth.
He should just make a new account every time he posts a new drawing. So when you go in to check the history, it's just with a one drawing. And then he does a new account, and no one can ever archive or track down and get all his work collected in one place without extensive, rigorous, annoying research.
I feel like the only person who would be able to do it is It Will Be Mine.
Yeah, she'd have it down. She would just... You get like an artist of a month unknowingly, and it would all be listed there. You can't get by. You wouldn't get by It Will Be Mine. Nobody gets by It Will Be Mine with that stuff. Nobody. She'd just be like, he'd post a thing. She'd be like, "Hey, Tim, what's up?" He'd be like, "Damn it!" You know?
All right, then. It's getting pretty late. So I think we've had last questions. Mostly they were about mine and Who Died's wedding. I believe Demand Man is providing alcohol.
What?
We've got a whole thing going on. Slam's gonna crash the party.
What party is? I gotta look back.
Our wedding party. It's happening.
Oh, your guys' wedding party.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Pinterest and everything. This is gonna happen.
No, this is gonna be amazing. I gotta see how I'm involved here, because I'm. Do I know where the Air Museum is in Alameda? Is that where MythBusters blow shit up? Isn't that by the Air Museum? Maybe not.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, Who Died says you mean pretty early, Sarah. Yep. I need to go to bed. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that people haven't finished. Polymiser's got a little while to go yet.
I feel you guys. I got a long ways to go to here, so
we'll show stuff in the next episode.
We'll show next episode. Just seriously, and help us remind us, because it's just hard to remember.
Our brains can only cope with so much.
Yeah, they can only do so much. So never be shy to mention a piece of art that you finished that you want us to show. Jesus, see, that's what I'm talking about. But that you want us to show, like, never hesitate to let us know. There's like just be like, "Oh, hey, finish your drawing." Don't if anyone here is shy and they're sitting there thinking, "Oh, should I say something? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Should I?" No, just say it. Like, seriously, we like looking at the art, so tell us. If you don't tell us, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, tell us next week when you finish. Help us remember. Maybe even to make it easier, since threads can have a bunch of other things added, put it in the RGD thread, but also put it in the Artist Lounge podcast thread, because then it's easier just to jump in there and get directly to it.
Yeah, it's easier for us to find it.
Yeah, much easier to find it, because it would just be under my account, and it's just much easier. So, so do that for sure. Is there any questions or anything people have before we start wrapping up with our song?
The only question left is, when do we do a European time zone? We will do it, but we've got to figure it out.
Yeah, I got to figure that out, but that will happen. That will totally happen. I'll stay up till sunrise.
Oh my god. Demand Man's just said, I vote for EU time on Wednesday and this one on Monday. We're not doing 2 podcasts a week. It's not happening.
You're like, no.
I do not have that time in my life. I'm sorry.
Like the immediate panic you could hear in your voice at the mere thought of it.
It's not happening. I'm sorry. In the meantime, do you like my kitty?
Oh my god, I haven't even looked at your kitty yet. Oh wait, here, I can look at it right on this. Oh.
Do you like it?
It's like peeking through. It's just peeking through.
Just in the little leaves.
Like, Prado. That's how a cat talks.
Is it?
Yeah. Prado.
It's called Apollo. I feel like it would have a way cooler voice. I'm not sure what noise you're making.
You ever seen the video of the 2 cats like talking to each other? And they're just going like "Perkay," like they're saying "Perkay" to each other. It's pretty adorable.
Looks like a bobcat.
It does look like a bobcat. Bobcat would be the kind of animal I'd run into the wild and be dumb enough to pet. Like, it looks kind of small.
It looks so cute and fluffy, and then it eats your face.
Yeah. I'd be like, I think this one will let me give it a belly rub. And then it just murders my life.
Oh, Who Died said, I love yours, Sarah. She spelled my name wrong. Like, we can't get married if you spell my name wrong.
Oh my god, this is your guys' first fight.
Oh my god, Foxtrot is sending Who Died wedding dress ideas. What's going on?
Let's look at them. Let's share them real quick. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to look. This is just getting ridiculous. We gotta look at this.
I might do fan art of us.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we have the platypus fan art. We definitely are gonna have the wedding of Who Died.
Yeah, everyone
And
can design
Sarah.
our dresses. It's fine.
Too much fun.
Thanks for joining us, K-Man. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, hold on. Oh, so who was leaving?
K-Man 75.
Oh, peace out.
Dad said, I'm sorry, babe. You are forgiven.
Where are the dresses?
I think it's in the Ice Lounge thread.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, Ice Lounge. Can you not see it? Wait, let me have a look. Oh, it's in reply to Who Died.
It's
Some
in the
wedding
what?
dress ideas for your Pinterest. It's if you
Oh,
go
here
to
we
the
go.
bottom, it's in reply to Who Died.
All right, we're gonna screen share this.
Oh, let me make it stay on your face. God damn it.
All right, here we go. We got.
My boobs aren't big enough for some of these.
Just look at the title says it all here. Oh yeah. Top 10 sluttiest wedding.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This.
My boobs are nowhere near big enough for these. Holy cheese.
These are insane.
I'll go for number 7 though. I'll wear number 7.
All right, let's see number 7.
That one. I'll wear that.
All right.
That's adequate. I'll
Pretty
do
good.
that.
Yeah. Who died needs to pick a dress. Oh god. I wonder what my if I have to be a maid of honor, what's that mean my dress has to look like?
I feel like you're wearing you're gonna wear number 4.
Oh Jesus. Hey, I don't make the rules. I guess that's what I'm wearing. Do I have to wear the little tiara too? Oh my god.
Number 6 is like unnecessarily hot.
Well, let me see.
That's not wedding attire.
That just looks like something kind of like I don't know what that is. That looks like you wear like at a theme restaurant, you know? They
Yeah.
had like a weird wedding theme restaurant. The Tidy Whitey. Unbelievable.
Who Died is going number 6. Which one was number? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Tidy Whitey. Oh,
Yay!
this is going to be the most ridiculously, intensely sexualized wedding ever. It's going to be really intense.
Oh my god. I might draw this.
Yeah, that might seriously save that webpage. And
Oh my god.
that's going to be the next bit of fan art is the Sarah and Who Died slutty wedding dress drawing.
We would look fantastic.
I kind of want to see it. I want to see the fan art of that, make a print of it, and that would be the opening splash in the next podcast.
I'm doing it. Next time I've got like a break between commissions, I'm doing that.
It would be so great. I'm so excited.
All right, it looks like YouTube is breaking for a few people, and we're on the cutoff point. So let's finish up.
Yeah, let's finish up.
Everyone has to dress slutty for the wedding. That's the rule from Who Died.
A slutty wedding.
Yeah. Follymiser says get the fanfic going.
You know what? I think I should do like a Daisy Duke, but with like a tuxedo, like cut it real short and shorter than like a pocket in the pants, right? And then just wear like the jacket, but cut off the sleeves and no shirt under it. And then I'll just have a bow tie tied around my neck.
Oh my god.
That's, or I have to wear the slutty dress either way.
So, you know, Follymiser said we need a fanfic going of this.
Mhm.
I'll tell you a secret. Someone's done a fanfic of me.
Whoa.
It is somewhere on DeviantArt. Good luck to anyone finding that.
Oh my god, is this a thing? Are you not going to tell us where it is? So now we need to go
I'm not
find
going
it.
to take worries. If anyone can
We-
find it, congratulations.
Dude, okay, we all have a mission now, guys. We all have a purpose. We have to find the fan art. I think we can do it. There should
It's
be
not
enough.
fan art. It's a fanfic, so it's like fiction. It's like a story.
Oh my god. That's Oh, we can do this. I believe in us. I think we can do this.
It's very, very obscure. I don't know if you'd figure out that it was of me, but
I can do it.
was.
I can do it because they're going to be a fan of your art and it's going to connect to you on your own site and pages. So I just need to see who comments on your things is a big fan, who writes the longest comments, back research who's writing the longest comments, and then go from there. And I'm sure that's going to lead right to it.
Good luck. Good luck.
Totally going to do it.
Don't say it's if I don't find it, I'll write my own.
That is also a wonderful option.
It's also adequate. It's going to be M-rated. Oh, God. I mean, we'll have the best accents ever. It's fine.
I guess if it's a slutty wedding, then like all of the speeches have to be super explicit and slutty as well. It's going to be intense.
Damn it, guys, your fanfic brings back nothing.
We have to find it.
Now you know that exists somewhere in the universe. Good luck to finding it.
And I think find it.
On
if
that bombshell.
We find it, I am reading it on the air. There we go.
On that bombshell, on the hour,
we're
heading off.
We're off.
We're off.
Is that how we end? We just we'll just go.
Yeah,
I can start singing this song.
I'm seriously, I've got to go. But thanks for everyone for joining us. This has been great fun. Thank you for a nice little welcome back, seeing as I was gone for a little bit. So yeah, this has been good fun. This is Crazy Podcasts. I agree, the craziest of all the podcasts. When in doubt, more podcasts. So yeah, we shall see you again, same time next week, and hopefully this all stays on the YouTube channel. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, seriously, because this one was pretty hilarious.
This was a brilliant show. So yeah, and reminders: if anyone finishes their artwork, like if you're watching this on the recorded version and you've been drawing whilst you've been watching, or if you didn't finish until later this evening on the live show, do let us know. Remind us next week. We'll show it on the show. And if anyone wants critique, let us know. Put like a CC next to it or something like that, or just say critique welcome, anything like that. And we'll do like a little thing like we did with Demon Man's piece, if you're interested in that. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. And we'll see you again next week. Mwah. Bye.
It's been fun having you join us for the podcast. We're gonna be back next week and do another motherfucking show for you.